Lost in the Script, episode 60 again. Black Apathy.
We
YouTube
don't
got us out of here for a week. You know what? I was gonna come over here and cuss YouTube out, but you know what? It's a fucking badge of honor because we out here doing some shit that we supposed to be doing, and that's why we got a strike.
We don't do nothing to nobody. Little old us.
But yeah, you shouldn't have showed that Asian dude getting his ass slapped.
I think that's what got us.
Because I even said that, they shouldn't have slapped him.
Yeah, hold on. Anybody who got a chance to see the live stream from last week.
By the way, that shit gone. Never be posted again.
Like, they just took it all away.
Live, so
it's gone. We don't have nothing from it.
It never happened.
So if that episode gone. But yeah, last episode when we showed what we think got us hit for 7 days.
Too bad you can't verify what last episode was.
No, I still got the picture and stuff up, the thumbnail.
Oh, okay, but you don't have the actual audio.
No.
Okay, so we got to go by your word versus my word. What was said?
You gonna play that? Oh wow! So
no, I'm a real one. If I say something, I stand on what I said.
When I asked him, was the black dude hitting the Asian dude who was accused of being a damn attempted rapist? Was that a hate crime?
You said no, it's not a hate crime.
But what did you say after we got hit with that strike?
I said you shouldn't show that video, and them niggas shouldn't have been slapping him.
But you ain't say that in the live stream.
Because I didn't care.
But then you cared when we got hit with a strike.
I still didn't care, but I was like, if you wouldn't have showed the thing, it wouldn't have got blocked.
But we ain't do nothing wrong.
No,
not like
we
was congratulating
them.
We were just saying, we was asking a question. We were talking about a story.
It was just related to the fact that
anti-Asian hate. Yeah. We actually were putting it in context.
But what the words they used were we were being we were
exploitative and
violent.
How we exploited.
We're exploiting the anti-Asian.
But we were showing that it wasn't anti-Asian hate.
Yeah, we got to use them to get attention.
Anyway, man, how y'all week been, man? A lot of stuff going on. Another day on that planet Earth in the country of America. But
it's gone to shit.
We see what the play is. If you've been listening to us since around November, everything we've saying has came to pass. I'm not saying we Nostradamus. I should use a black person, not a white person for that. But we're not saying we can predict the future. But we just read articles and we watch other people who give good information. And we said a lot of the things that they bringing to the forefront now as a part of their push for the midterms. They were already setting this stuff up late last year. So first thing we're going to start with, the January 6th committee they got going right now. Then you got the gun violence, the gun control push.
Well, we know why the January 6th thing is being used right now because midterm elections are coming up.
All this is the gun violence thing. Like I said last week, all of a sudden, right around the same time, they start reporting on mass shootings that have been happening all year. There's been over 200 mass shootings in America, yet they just started reporting on the last 2 or 3 weeks because they want to push for gun control. And it just shows how easy it is to convince people what's important in their life. They convinced you for 2 years that COVID was important to you. Then they convinced you that Ukraine was important to you. Then they convinced you that gun control is important to you. Now they're going to try to convince you that the January 6th shit is important to you.
In the Roe v. versus Wade.
Oh, in the Roe v. Wade. These things, just things you should care about. So when you out here, you see black people out here pushing for legislation directly that goes straight to black people. It's like, that's not important. We need stuff that benefit everybody or stuff that benefit other groups. And we'll use your face to promote it, though. Let me go ahead and get this right here. Son of Buffalo victim pushes Congress. What are you doing?
It's like gun control. Is that what he's saying?
I won't say
talking about getting bills passed as anti-black.
I'm going to show the video,
okay,
and let you decide for yourself what agenda you think he's pushing in his speech. This is only a minute of what he said, But this is a good summation of what you can try to come to your own understanding of what he was pushing
I'll come to my conclusion.
What he was pushing in this speech here. So let me just play this.
Senator Durbin went to vote. I just want to start out by noting that the intelligence community has identified racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists as a...
And what are you doing? You're elected to protect us, to protect our way of life. I ask every one of you to imagine the faces of your mothers as you look at mine, and ask yourself, is there nothing that we can do? Is there nothing that you personally are willing to do to stop the cancer of white supremacy and the domestic terrorism it inspires? Because if there is nothing, then, respectfully, senators, you should yield your positions of authority and influence to others that are willing to lead on this issue. My mother's life mattered. My mother's life mattered. And your actions here today will tell us how much it matters to you.
I don't think he was pushing gun control.
That's not his full speech, but I don't. Based off what they showed there, huh?
Based off this
little 1 minute snippet,
I don't think he was pushing gun control. I was thinking he's saying that you need to do something about
guns and. Well, he said white supremacy.
White supremacy.
He went at the real root. It ain't the
them
guns
attacking. Black Americans.
Now there was also a black woman who spoke. She was the mother of She was the mother of a survivor. I believe she's one of the first people that was interviewed right after the shooting, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll show what she had to say as well. Hold on.
Let me say that again for the people in the back. My ancestors, the first currency of America, were stripped of their heritage and culture, separated from their families, bargained for on auction blocks, sold, beaten, raped, and lynched. Yet I continuously hear after every mass shooting that this is not who we are as Americans and as a nation. Hear me clearly. This is exactly who we are. African Americans built this country from the ground up. My ancestors' blood is embedded in the soil. The 18-year-old terrorist who stormed into my community armed with an AR-15, killing 10 people and injuring 3 others, received a shotgun from his parents for his 16th birthday. For Zaire's 16th birthday, I bought him a few video games, some headphones, a pizza, and a cake. We are not the same.
Well,
Two different Americas.
Two different Americas, but which one is more prepared?
Exactly. One is preparing
Now
the next generation.
Now, I'm not saying she should have gave her kid guns. I'm just saying because they're giving their kids guns, they're prepared. They're prepared for what's coming.
But they're war people.
They are.
We're not war people. Only when we need to go to war.
We are war people. We just has been neutered out of us. We've been neutered.
We're war people, as in we do it when we need to do it.
Yeah, righteous.
They're
warriors.
just war people.
Yeah,
they just like to go around and fucking terrorize people.
Everything they've gotten
is by war.
It's through betrayal and war. They don't fight nobody. They don't try nobody that can actually do something to them. They don't try nobody who has the necessary tools. They try people that they think they can pick on. But
they don't try people that are at the same level as they are.
But we can see that they're starting to change now because a couple of countries are starting to look at them as
weak.
Yeah, look at them as sweet. Like you look like you're a little weak over there. We'll see what's gonna happen. Let's go ahead and finish this though.
How and why? And what in the world is wrong with this country? Children should not be armed with weapons. Parents who provide their children with guns should be held accountable. And I will end with a quote from Charles Bloom in his book, The Devil We Know. Race, as we have come to understand it, is a fiction, but racism, as we have come to live it, is a fact. The point here is not to impose a new racial hierarchy, but to remove an existing one. After centuries of waiting for white majorities to overturn white supremacy, it is to me that it has fallen to Black people to do it themselves.
As it always was going to be.
As quote Minister Farrakhan, why do we keep waiting on white people to do something that we could do for ourselves?
He ain't the first person to say it. But,
no, he's not the first person to say it, but it always takes me back when he was at the table.
Yeah.
They used to have a black, used to have a yearly black thing they would do.
Mm-hmm.
It would be him, Reverend Al Shelton, all the gatekeepers. And they would be discussing stuff.
Yeah.
So, how long?
The scriptures that tell you how long will you, how you said, enjoy simplicity.
Yeah.
So, let me just go straight to this. Something we already knew, but SPLC polls find substantial support for great replacement theory and other hard right ideas. I'm confused why people are confused that people believe in this replacement idea.
Yeah.
Y'all say on television all the time, you keep saying this country is going to be one skin tone, one mixed country by 2050, 40, whatever it is. And it's like, and you're surprised people saying you're trying to get rid of certain races. The same way as a black man, I could look at commercials and see the propaganda with this interracial dating push. I'm sure that other races see it too. I'm sure the Asian woman can look at commercials and say, damn, they never show two Asians together.
They show them more than show black people.
They never show two black people together. When you see a commercial with two black people, it's like, my God.
Because I step out the damn door right now and look on a Billington board, and it's Amazon Fresh with a white woman and a black man, and they
biracial kids.
Biracial kids.
That's the first. They finally started putting biracial kids in the commercial. They used to put black kids or white kids in the commercial.
Or they would put a black couple and have biracial kids.
Yeah, I don't get that either. Like somebody had an outside relationship before they came here. And in late April, the Southern Poverty Law Center and Tolkien Research conducted a poll of 1,500 Americans to examine the extent to which the extremist beliefs and narratives that mobilize the hard right have absorbed by the wider American public. We found that the ideas underpinning the white nationalist great replacement narrative recently cited by the alleged white supremacist terrorists in Buffalo, New York, have become thoroughly mainstream on the political right. Nearly 7 in 10 Republicans surveyed agreed to at least some extent that demographic changes in the United States are deliberately driven by liberal and progressive politicians attempting to gain political power by replacing more conservative white voters. Across the political spectrum, we found substantial support for threatening or acting violently against perceived political opponents. Now, that's a fact. They need the Mexicans and all them to come through the border so that the demographics can change in certain states, so they have a better chance to win. Why do you think they want all those Mexicans in Texas? And why do you think the governor of Texas was taking them immigrants and sending them to D.C.?
Busting them off.
Yeah, busting them to D.C. and Delaware. Because he knows they want those demographics in his state.
So they can sway the vote.
So they can sway the voters. This is real. Like, why is it acting like this is not a thing? Now, what's funny is, why it really don't work is because a lot of times first generation immigrants or migrants, what you want to call them,
are conservative.
They vote conservative
because they've come from a country of poverty,
and they said we will keep things the way they are.
Yep.
Now it doesn't get to about the third generation that they start to see certain things and they go left. That's
because they've been here, they've been indoctrinated, they've gone off to schools and college, been around these white people, and then they're like, oh,
it ain't just the white people. They start to look at the television and get, like you said, indoctrinated and programmed through other people's issues and think that it should be them.
Yeah.
So they see what's happening to black people, and they think, oh, I shouldn't do certain things because of what happens. First off, I can say this. The same way we tell other people to hold their own nuts, we have to do the same. You just can't just say it to other people. You shouldn't expect other people to march and protest and get legislation for you.
You gotta do it yourself.
You gotta do it yourself. We also uncover a widespread feeling, especially among right-leaning Americans, that transgender people and gender ideology pose a threat to the children society at large. And we're going to get to that later. These anti-LGBTQ, misogynistic, and racist narratives have been promoted by many Republican politicians and other powerful right-wing figures, helping the ideas infiltrate the mainstream and contributing to increasingly volatile and dangerous political environments. So look at it. Look what they put first. Anti-LGBT, misogynistic, and then racist.
This goes back to me telling you, black people are last.
Oh, Lord.
Racism is last. When they talk about race groups, they either start out with the Asian, or Hispanic now, and black people are last.
Which is crazy because your biggest support base, I don't know why, it's not a good thing, it's still black people.
Black women in particular.
Well, the percentage is equal or almost about the same, but you're right, by overall number, yeah, not even close. Black women
dominate.
They dominate going to vote for them.
And she's proud of it.
Let me go here. I'm sorry.
They the superheroes.
So
they always got to put their cape on.
Now they said burn the cape.
Oh, they said burn the cape?
For black men. But House passed a sweeping gun bill to raise assault rifle purchase age to 21. Plan faces long odds in the Senate. They know it's not getting through. They know it's not getting through. This is all just another way to blame the Republicans. They're going to try to push it through. Who knows what's in that bill? They probably done threw some wild shit in that bill that got nothing to do with guns. And they know that the Republicans are going to ban it or not pass it through. And then in a couple of weeks, they'll say, look, the Republicans didn't want to stop stuff like Buffalo from happening. This is the typical games they play. The House passed a sweeping gun bill, whatever. The bill called the Protecting Our Kids Act. You know, they always name bills after stuff that you have to support. Like, you want to protect your kids. But then when you read the actual bill, you go, this is bullshit.
They don't got shit in there about these kids.
What's the bill I don't forget the name of the bill they passed. What's the name of the bill they passed to get people to be getting checked in the airports and stuff? The Patriot Act. That sounds good. Patriot. It's for patriots. Yeah, the bill was a damn it's a police state bill. It had nothing to do with being a patriot. The House passed the bill in the wake of 2 mass shootings carried out last month by separate 18-year-old gunmen, both of whom carried AR-15 style rifles.
What a coincidence.
And both cases make no sense. Why would the other guy in Buffalo drive all those miles to get to a particular neighborhood to shoot up a
what was the name of the neighborhood?
Huh?
You remember the name of the neighborhood?
No, I don't. But you had it was a Top supermarket. Then you had the guy in Texas who shot his grandmother, crashed into a cemetery. Oh, sorry, what do you call it? Funeral home. Shot at 2 people. Did or didn't get into a shootout with a security. The teacher did or didn't leave the door unlocked or cracked open. The police did or didn't go in and confront him. They don't know if they shot him or not, or shot at him at that point or not. Don't know if he shot the kids in 1 room or 4.
Well, we know for sure it was 2
connecting rooms,
adjoining.
So
rooms.
that makes no sense. So both those cases seem like some bullshit, honestly. Let me go to the next one here. New York governor signs law raising age to own semi-automatic rifles. New Yorker under the age 21 will be prohibited from buying automatic rifle under the new law signed Monday by Governor Kathy Hochul, making the state this among the first to enact a major gun control initiative following a wave of deadly mass shootings. New York already has ridiculous gun laws.
Yeah.
New York has very, very
strict,
right there with Chicago. But yet both those cities got the most guns. How's that?
Yeah, how is that?
The place with the strictest laws have the most gun violence. How they getting in? Hochul, a Democrat, signed 10 public safety related bills, including one that will require micro-stamping in new firearms, which would help law enforcement solve gun related crimes. I'm surprised they didn't start putting trackers in guns.
Oh, you giving them ideas?
No, I'm just saying, for them to say that how have they not started doing that?
Who's to say they haven't?
Exactly. Let's be honest. There's so many cameras now that when you shoot somebody, the cops know who did it. They just decide when they do and don't want to solve the damn crime. In Chicago, we know all them shootings is not who they say they are. Like, we saw a dude in a live stream last week who was saying he's from the South Side of Chicago and saying it's not as bad as they say, and a lot of this is to push black people out of there so they can get the Caucasians to move in and gentrify the area. So he was saying they bullshitting. Obviously it's crime everywhere, but it's not nearly as bad as they say.
It was a woman.
It was I forgot. Her name was
Money.
No, she had a name that you said and it sounded like I'm so sorry, I forgot her name.
Start with an M.
I forgot her name. I can't even go find her name because they deleted
you
the
can't find her name.
I'm so sorry. I forgot your name. I'm sorry. But
Mello.
Yeah, Mello. That's it. And she said she got a cousin named Mel who's a man. Because you accidentally call her a man. She was like, I'm a woman. Armed man arrested for threat to kill Justice Kavanaugh. This you would think this would be a bigger story. There was a justice like a couple years ago, well, a while ago, Scalita, I think his name was, who was killed at a cabin. Or sorry, he suffocated at a cabin, and they just took his body straight to the morgue. Didn't just hurry up. Took his body straight to the morgue.
Oh, he wanted to be cremated.
Yeah, I know.
It was in the will.
Of course. A man carrying a gun, a knife, and zip ties was arrested Wednesday near Justice Brett Kavanaugh's house in Maryland after threatening to kill the justice. Nicholas John, 26, a Simi Valley, California, was charged with the attempted murder of a Supreme Court justice. During a court hearing, he consented to remain in federal custody for now. He was dressed in black when he arrived by taxi just after 1 a.m. outside Kavanaugh's home in Washington suburb. He had a Glock 17 pistol, ammunition, a knife, zip ties, pepper spray, duct tape, and other items that he told police he would use to break into Kavanaugh's house and to kill him. According to a criminal complaint in the affidavit filed in federal court in Maryland, he said he purchased the gun to kill Kavanaugh and that he also would kill himself, the affidavit said.
So he admitted to what his plot was to do?
Yes. Which makes me think this might be some shenanigans going on. Is this the Republicans or is the Democrats?
Both. They're the same.
But he said, we'll read what he said. He told police he was upset by the leaked draft opinion suggesting the Supreme Court is about to overrule Roe v. Wade.
Why would Go
ahead.
Why would this man be so upset about women not being able to get abortion?
He's a supporter of women's rights.
This some bullshit. Now, if you told me there was a woman with a cat head on and her red, what's the name of that TV show? Lady's Tale?
Handmaid's Tale.
It was two of them out there trying to do this?
Yeah.
I believe it. But it's a man? No.
You think it's some bullshit?
It's some bullshit.
The landmark abortion case, he also said he was upset over the school massacre at Uvalde, Texas, and believed Kavanaugh will vote to loosen gun control laws, the affidavit said. So not Buffalo.
Not Buffalo. His concern is
the court.
Roe v. versus Wade and the Texas shooting of the little kids.
Mexicans shooting Mexicans.
The black
Mexican
people,
children.
They kill one another anyway, so it's not a concern for me.
The court currently is weighing a challenge to New York's requirements for getting a permit to carry a gun in public, a case that could be easy to be armed on the streets in New York and other large cities. Now, the fact that a man allegedly would set out a plot to assassinate a justice, that seems like a big deal. You would think if you found this to happen as a president, as anybody in Congress, you would push for justices, all of them, to have 24/7 protection, at least for a little while. Remember after January 6th, which we're going to get to, they put up the whole fence, a gate around the Capitol. For months, they had military out there to protect them. But what about the justices who got men coming up to their house?
They get paid enough money to hire their own security.
They don't just not protect them, and whatever you feel about the justices is your own opinion. Hey, I can give two shits about them either. But you would think in an institution that say they want to protect their democracy, which they've been saying for the last 2-3 years, we are this close to losing our democracy. This is not a democracy. America is not a democracy. It's a republic. A democracy is chaos. That means the citizens can vote for whatever the hell they want. Right now, I can create my own bill and send it to the public and tell them to vote on it. You can't even
get an independent on the ballot, so
it's not a democracy. But look at this. Even after the man had an attempted, well, I'm gonna show this first. A comparison: former Wisconsin judge killed in targeted attack. Suspect had a hit list that included Mitch McConnell and Governor Whitmer. John, a former county circuit judge, was found dead in his home in a township in New Lisbon on Friday. Now, Mitch McConnell, you know who the turtle is. Mr. Turtle, the one who said, you know, I don't believe in reparations. Yeah, my family owned slaves, but I don't believe. And so did Obama. His family had slavery, and he don't believe in Obama. I said that was cold. But Governor Whitmer, remember, Gretchen Whitmer, if I think that's her name, she's the one that they put out that plot that says that those white supremacist groups were trying to kidnap her. And then it turns out the people on the ride to go kidnap her, 9 out of the 12 were damn FBI or CIA. They were intelligence. Then they had to throw the
informants?
They were intelligence officers. Okay. They had to throw the case out because people found out and was like, y'all the ones who set the whole thing up. Which we know, by the way, is tied to January 6th. The leader of the Proud Boys, Terrier, Tequera, whatever his name is, the Mexican dude or Cuban, he is a literal informant.
Yeah.
The guy who runs the 5%ers, 3%ers, whatever they are, a lot of them were informants. This is on the books. So we know now that we saw them open up the gate and all that other stuff. A lot of those people at January 6th, the leaders of that were FBI, CIA.
Taking selfies.
Exactly. But in this case right here, the reason why this is interesting, because this judge that was killed, a retired Wisconsin judge who was shot and killed in his home Friday by a gunman who had a apparent hit list of targeting 3 prominent politicians and other people, seeing law enforcement officials told NBC News. A former judge was found dead in his home in township in New Lisbon on Friday morning. The Wisconsin Department of Justice said in news release, the suspect, Douglas K. Udi, 56, suffered an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound and is hospitalized in critical condition, the department said. Deputies were called into the home around 6:30 a.m. for reports of an armed person and 2 shots fired. The call had exited the home and contacted the county sheriff officer from a nearby residence. Now, guess what they found him as? He was tied up, zip-tied.
Just like
the guy who was going to Kavanaugh's house.
So Kavanaugh would have been zipped up?
I'm not saying it's connected. I'm just saying it is strange that a former judge was found shot and tied up, and a guy was going to a justice's house with zip ties, duct tape, and a pistol.
Oh, that's just a trend now.
The same way they burning all these food plants. It's just an accident around the country.
It's a coincidence.
Yeah, okay. Pro-abortion protesters demonstrate outside Kavanaugh's home after foiled assassination plot.
They didn't give a damn.
So wait. After there was an alleged assassination attempt against this man.
Those women said he did not care about my body, my choice, so they don't care about him living or dying.
That's crazy. I'm saying, look, once again, I don't give a damn about, I don't care. But listen, if one of your justices had a damn assassination plot against them, and you go on and not do nothing to protect them, and you allow a protest demonstration to go outside his home after the assassination attempt, seems like you want something to happen to him. We saw them firebomb a damn abortion clinic. Or not abortion clinic, a pro-life, whatchamacallit? What do they call it? I got an article. I'll have it up after this. So, who's to say they're going to do something to him and his family? First off, clearly his family not there, probably. They probably don't bounce and then people don't know it.
I'm pretty sure they got another house
somewhere. So, but the fact that you can even not do anything if one of your supposed justices in your democracy, as you call it, is under threat, it says a lot. A group of pro-abortion activists descended into the Justice Brett Kavanaugh's home on Wednesday night to protest the expected overturning of Roe v. Wade, the 1973 landmark decision that legalized abortion nationally. The demonstrators marched in front of Kavanaugh's house, carrying signs and shouting slogans such as "We say our choice" and keep your ovaries off our rosaries. Okay. Police stood guard as the lawn in the home as they walked by. One sign read, "Just say no to theocracy."
Keep your ovaries off our rosaries.
Yeah, I don't know. The Wednesday night protest happened despite the fact that a man was charged with attempting to threatening to murder or kidnap Kavanaugh that morning after traveling to his residence armed with a Glock handgun. Allegedly was intended on killing the justice over his presumed vote in soon to be decided cases relating to abortion and the Second Amendment. So that's obviously one of the things they're pushing. Another thing, January 6th hearings give Democrats a chance to recast midterm message.
Which means they can't offer you shit. They're not doing shit. There's no tangibles. And they want you to care about this January 6th hearing.
They literally in this article tell you, well, I'm going to read it, or some of it at least. They want to convince the public that you should care about this. That's what they're saying. Most people don't give a damn. They have to convince you to care so that you should vote for us, because voting for us, we should stay in power.
Why?
We're safer.
Shit.
For the quote-unquote democracy. With the majority at stake, Democrats plan to use the 6 high-profile hearings to refocus voters' attention on Republican role in the attack. Wait, refocus?
So they're saying you're not paying attention to it?
No, they don't want you to care about Ukraine right now no more. They don't want you to care about the monkeypox and the COVID. They want you to not focus on the gas prices.
How the hell can you not focus
the shortages,
on gas prices?
They don't want you to care about that right now. They want you to focus on January. That should be important to you, apparently.
It's not important.
17 months after a mob of Donald J. Trump supporters stormed the Capitol with false claims of a stolen election, House Democrats plan to use the landmark set of investigative hearings beginning this week to try and refocus voters around attention on January 6th, aiming to tie Republicans directly to an unprecedented plot to undermine democracy itself. Revolutionary War? Now, who was that did that? The Democrats. I'm just saying, with their control of Congress hanging in the balance, Democrats plan to use made-for-television moments and a carefully choreographed rollout of revelations over the course of 6 hearings to remind the public of the magnitude of Mr. Trump's effort to overturn the election and to persuade voters that the coming midterm elections are a chance to hold Republicans accountable for it. Now, keep on what they said, with their control of Congress hanging in the balance, Democrats plan to use made-for-television moments, propaganda. They're going to purposely make it more hyperbole, make it seem more dramatic.
Yep, and carefully
choreographed rollout of revelations over the course of they literally telling you we're going to propagandize you to believe a narrative of what happened. We're going to dramatize it.
Revelations is what's to come.
We're going to overstate its importance. That's really what they're saying. In an uphill battle at the time when polls show that voters' attention is focused on elsewhere, including inflation. So now this is what they're saying that January 6th should be more important than. This is the supporters of this movement, of the Democrats. They're saying that you should focus on January 6th more than inflation, rising coronavirus cases, and record high gas prices.
Let's not even talk about the rising of coronavirus cases. Let's talk about the monkeypox.
That's the one that, hey, let me tell y'all something.
That's the one you
Travis
should be concerned about.
Let me tell you something. If monkeypox really pop off, I think Travis gonna take that shot.
No, I'm not.
That's the one that's gonna scare you. You said that's the one that's gonna scare you.
I'm just gonna stay my ass in the house.
You ain't going to work at all, is you? You gonna say fuck that job?
Shit.
But Democrats argued that the hearing will give them a platform for making a broader case about why they deserve to stay in power. When these hearings are over, voters will know how irresponsibly complicit Republicans were in attempting to toss out their vote and just how far Republicans will go to gain power for themselves, said Representative Sean Patrick Maloney, the Democratic campaign chair. These people are insane. They're trying to convince you what's important to you. Incredible. Matter of fact, this was on MSNBC. MSNBC guest finally admits in plain English. He said, we don't have the economy on our side as Democrats, so we have to scare the bejesus out of people. They saying it out loud at this point. Let me go ahead.
This is absolutely crazy.
Saying it out loud. But people go along with it, so who cares, right?
Question is, what is the best way to push back on this hatred? What's the best way to push back on this conspiracy theory that's based on a Jewish international banker? I mean, it is so anti-Semitic. And of course, they've slotted George Soros in there, trying to make the country like browner and blacker. What's the best way for people to push back on that lie?
You take this heinous platform and you make the Republicans own it. I want to say it again. Make the Republicans own it. Every Republican politician, every Republican candidate, ask them about it. Make it, because they can't run from it, because it's part of who they are at this point, as disgusting as that is. But make it the Republican replacement theory. Mainstream it, because this is the way. You have to scare. We don't have the economy on our side as Democrats, so you have to scare the bejesus out of people. The way to scare that is say, this replacement theory, this is not just coming from some dark corner of the web. This is the Republican platform. Make them own it. And Democrats run from this fist fight. I know in the previous segment, Eugene Daniels, you talked about the president not wanting to call out names. Call out Tucker Carlson. Call out the politicians and make them own it. This is a Republican.
How the hell is Biden gonna call him out when he was friends with a segregationist? His mentor was a segregationist. How the hell he gonna call out Tucker? What? He has more history of doing quote unquote racist shit than Tucker do.
Platform is the racist Republican replacement theory.
Well, the thing is, I'm not so concerned at the end of the day about commentators as I am about.
Well, they are going to be replaced.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's something in their spirit telling them they're going to be replaced.
See, this is what Malcolm X was talking about when he said that the conservative white and the liberal right believe the same thing, but they do it in a different way. The conservative want nothing to do with you. He want his neighborhood. They want their neighborhoods without you. They want to just separate society, which is whatever. It's fine. The liberals want you separate as well, but they want to indulge you a little bit to make you look at them as your superior, as your savior. Mm-hmm. So they'll give you the crumbs so that you'll back them against the conservatives. That's all. The conservatives have the majority. They know what they believe, and their tenets gonna have most white people agree with them. The Democrats or the liberals, whatever you want to call them, they know that majority of Caucasians ain't gonna agree with them, so they need the help of other groups. So they placate to you a little bit. They pander enough without giving you shit. They just call you, oh, you're a backbone of our party. You've all, how Biden said, the black community always came and had my back, and I'm going to have yours. And he ain't had shit to do with you. I saw black people.
He don't even like you.
When Ice Cube, we're going to get to Ice Cube later. When Ice Cube came out with his plan for Black America, you had black people mad with him for actually coming up with a plan for his own community. He went to people in the community to put this together.
We'll never forget Vivica A. Fox.
Lord, what's her name? When they said, was any black women involved in this? And he was like, what? They said, can't no black man make a bill that benefits black women? And it was like, you mean black people? That I still can't get over they said it out loud. I was surprised they said it out loud. And then this man did not meet with, after he pushed ICE to the side, he told them, we'll see you after the election.
I never met with
him. They met with Little Baby. And they mocked Ice Cube. He went and saw Little Baby for Ice Cube, LOL. He went and saw Cardi B. And y'all were happy.
And she's not a black woman.
Lordy. Lord. All right. Now, with the January 6th thing going on, there's been things found out, as we'll say. GOP leader Kevin McCarthy slams Democrats for hiring ex-ABC president who spiked story on Jeffrey Epstein's role in human trafficking to make the January 6th primetime hearings more dramatic. Remember what we read just a while ago? They said they're going to choreograph how they put the information out to make it more interesting, more dramatic. Because Americans, if you look at like American television, and then listen to like British television, it's just
totally different.
They don't dramatize everything. It's more bland. It's more what they call it, stale comedic.
Even though they're very blunt and straightforward people,
and that's kind of the switch. Americans aren't blunt like that. They're more dramatic with what they say. Over there, they're more
blunt.
Huh?
Negroes are blunt.
Well, yeah, but we're not talking about Negroes with this, obviously, because
Negroes like theatrics and drama too.
Negroes in Britain are dramatic, so it's like that's just what it is. But the Caucasians over there, their entertainment is totally different. Over here, you have to put the do in their action movies. Over there, it's just they don't need it. It's just a regular movie. But with this came another story. So they hired the man who spiked that story from coming out. Remember that viral video of the newswoman who said she had the story years ago and she wanted to put it out. She had the names, the Clintons, the Trumps, and they spiked the story, told her not to do it. Mm-hmm. And then it came out later. She was really mad that she didn't get a chance to put the story out herself and get that attention. But regardless, now look at this right here. Speaking of Epstein, right? That body count, boy. The body count's something vicious. Family of Bill Clinton advisor.
Who? Every time you say the name, I just get
the Clintons. It's sort of like old buddy that played in the NFL who shot somebody. I forgot his name. Harrison. People like he shot somebody. They lived. Didn't think to say his nephew or somebody shot him and killed him. And then somebody said if you tell on him, you're gonna die. So people out there don't know his name. Somebody say his name, like, who? I don't know who that is. It's a running joke. But family of Bill Clinton advisor who admitted Jeffrey Epstein into White House 7 times has blocked release of files detailing the death scene after he was found hanging from a tree with a shotgun blast at a ranch 30 miles away from his home. So the man who said, yeah, Jeffrey Epstein was in the White House like 7 times with Bill Clinton, he was found hanging from a tree with a shotgun blast. So now I guess I gotta believe that he felt so bad for lying on the Clintons, that he shot himself with a shotgun and then hung himself.
Or the Clintons gotta hold his ass, shot him, stringed his ass up, and he out of here.
They tarred and feathered him.
Tarred and feathered him.
Top Clinton advisor Mark Middleton died by suicide.
Everybody just committing these suicides.
You get suicided with them. At the age of 59 on May 7th, the Perry County Sheriff Office in Arkansas confirmed. Arkansas? And it was in Arkansas?
The Arkansas massacre?
They are not, hold on. Y'all don't understand. All the bodies happened in Arkansas. Listen, if the Clintons want you out of here, do not
go to Arkansas.
Not go to Arkansas. Stay your ass away from them.
They say ain't no mountain high, ain't nobody low to keep you off your ass, baby. They gonna get you.
Middleton was President Bill Clinton's special advisor who admitted Jeffrey Epstein to the White House 7 of the least 17 times the pedophile visited. The married father of 2 who lived in Little Rock, Arkansas, shot himself at the Heifer Ranch in Prairieville, 30 miles away from his home. How he hang himself then? Did he hang himself or did he shoot himself? So he shot himself and he ended up hung. Huh?
He shot himself. They didn't take him out. Then he said, fuck it, I'm just going to scream myself up. And he did it that way.
Oh, they did it at the same time. Did he have a shotgun to himself while he jumped and koosh?
Yeah, he had the shotgun on his toe and then he went. That's how he got out of here.
His toe landing on the trigger?
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Boy, let me tell you something, man. If our channel continue to grow, and we get a certain platform, and one of us, if we come up missing, I'm telling you who
y'all think will be the first one to come up missing?
I don't know. It might be you, because I'm going to run. I'm going to go in protective custody.
What?
I'm going to protective custody.
You fucking
Look, man,
snitch.
don't make it easy on them. You got to come get me.
Hold on. I'm going to be ready for you. You come and get me. After you hang me?
Kiss my ass. Oh, man. Look at this.
Look at his fold ass jaw.
He got
a little mouth, but we know he put a lot of food in it because his face is big as hell.
January 6th, and the lies that led to insurrection have put 2.5 centuries of constitutional democracy at risk. The world is watching what we do here. Well, the world been watching for a long time, and they all tell you the same thing. They treat you like shit. They've been telling you that for the last 200.
But what lies were led to the so-called insurrection?
Here's the thing. They tell us that Trump, he said that the election was stolen.
It was.
Leave that alone. That's like, see, you got us out of here for 2 weeks last time.
Oh, you got us out of here for a week time.
I'm talking about when we was gone for 2 weeks, we was rolling, we was going. You said some things and we was gone. Chill out. And that's what got us.
Oh, what got us last week?
I don't know.
You know what got us?
They was talking vague. We don't know what it was.
You enjoying those niggas slapping that man. That's what got us out of here.
Who said I enjoyed that? I'm not violent. But anyway.
You told people to arm themselves with guns if it's illegal or not illegal. That's pretty violent.
No, I said be willing to get caught with it, to get caught without it. That's all I said.
Okay.
That's what I said. Be willing to get caught with it.
Okay.
To get caught without it. Is that not a good point?
Make sure that your gun is legally registered and you have a permit.
Some people can't get legal weapons.
Then
they got caught with a drug charge 30 years ago.
Should have got caught with that drug charge.
So now I shouldn't be able to defend myself?
Your hands.
Hands versus the bullet? Y'all
well, they
crazy.
say niggas are, you know what they call us.
Oh, we super niggas now?
No, the other word.
What?
Bullet.
Oh, bullet bags? That's a slur. I'm sorry. I should have. Y'all not gonna hear what I just said. I'm a beep.
Like,
that's a real
what's the
slur.
show with the black dude that was a superhero on Netflix?
Yeah, Luke Cage.
Luke Cage and Pastor Derby said his power was the nigga. He said the Negro power was to take bullets.
He had super strength too.
Yeah, super strength, but he could take bullets too.
But you know what? No, he had super strength, so because of that, he could take bullets. But they emphasized on the whole show on him being able to take bullets. That was his. They made that the center of his powers. Remember the way people supported him in the neighborhood was walking around in sweatshirts with holes in it. What the? Why do we accept that?
The Negro catches bullets with his teeth.
Oh no, that was Shona.
Yeah.
He said
that was the Last Dragon.
Master?
That's Shona, the Last Dragon.
Yeah. Who are the last dragon?
Yep.
The power.
Okay, nigga, we get it.
All right, nigga, I want to sing the song, nigga.
You still going off what your grandma told you? You can sing.
My grandma told me I can sing.
He can't sing, y'all.
R.I.P. Granny. She told me I could sing, and you've been hating since I was like 7. But anyway, let me show y'all this video of the supposed insurrection.
Hey! Fucking hey, man. Glad to see you guys. You guys are fucking patriots. Look at this guy. He's got covered in blood. God bless you. Yes. You good, sir? Do you need medical attention? I'm good, thank you. All right.
And the guy walking around in the horns, we know is all...
He's a deity.
That's
He's playing
clearly some esoteric... Yeah. You go deep into who he is. How they didn't have him in... He was one of the first people to publicly turn on Trump and say Trump betrayed him and stuff.
Which lets you know that that was his job to play this role like they all do. Pretend like he was for Trump, and then later on turn on him and talk shit about him.
Yeah. Let me finish this though.
I got shot in the face. Where are they? I got shot in the face with some kind of plastic bullet.
Any chance I could get you guys to leave the Senate wing?
We will. I've been making sure they ain't disrespecting the place.
Okay, just want to let you guys know this is like the sacredest place.
I know.
Interesting. They had plastic bullets for their ass.
No, they ain't had one for Ashley Babbitt. That Negro, allegedly the Negro who got it, it wasn't a plastic bullet. And it was definitely to the face. But look how calm they were walking around there. And when they left out, they literally just walked out the building. Like there was no
arresting,
no gun shooting. It was just like da 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 da.
Have a good day, sir.
There's literally a video of them.
Thanks for being a patriot.
They literally showed them walking out of the place like they just went to a concert.
Oh yeah, the pro-life people called their place a center.
Huh?
The pro-life people called their place a center.
Oh yeah.
The abortion people called their place a clinic.
They're medical. They're scientific. All right.
So if somebody say clinic, Y'all ain't shit.
Pro-abortion terrorists firebomb Buffalo pro-life pregnancy center.
They're gonna destroy a place that's pro-life.
So this summer,
they've already put out a report.
They warned y'all a couple times.
For Seattle, they've said that it's supposed to be the most violent summer. It's already been increased so far with the number of crimes. It's not because of homelessness, or it's because them damn women gonna be out there in their damn cat hats, causing all types of chaos and drama.
Now this right here is what happened. How do you walk up to the presidential convoy and think you just gonna get away with this?
Because she's a female, and she think nothing ain't gonna happen.
And she really got let off light, because if that was a Negro,
yeah, she would have.
If it was a black woman, she would have got her ass whooped.
She wouldn't get no tap like this one.
She would have got punched. If it was a nigga, a dude, he probably got popped. Like, yeah.
Sometimes the black woman get a bullet in her too.
Yeah, that hit him sometimes
depending
too.
on how rough the Caucasians
if they start trying to hit on her and she land a good shot, then they'll just unfortunately.
She's gonna get hit by a car.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Huh?
I'm doing the countdown until we come up. Got her.
Get out there!
Watch my back. I got you. Go ahead. I got you.
Well, at least she was wearing drawers that day.
So she wasn't wearing no bra. So I'm not going to show it, because last time we showed somebody getting their ass whoops. They didn't whoop her ass, by the way. They just wrestled her to the ground.
Kelly, would you get on that beat, please? I'm rolling this. Kelly, please.
Okay.
He said the abortion bill will not stop abortions. These people are adamant about getting their abortions.
How that dude said, the battle rapper, what's his name? Stumbles. It's my life, not yours. It's my life, not yours. Another thing that happened. Abortion activist stripped to underwear during Joel Osteen's church service.
Oh, he do that all the time after service. There ain't nothing new with Joel Osteen.
So here's a video here. I'll just show it from where it is.
It's my body, my fucking choice. It's my body, my choice. Overturn, girls. Hell no. My body, my choice. I am who I say I am.
I find it funny they use the color green. I don't know why they use it, but green represents fertility.
Mm-hmm.
You got Isis, Pan, like that green color. What's funny, because green also represents black. So I'm just saying, I find it strange they use the color green, but I don't know why they use it.
I do what I say to do because I have a choice. I have a choice. I have a choice.
As you said, I was surprised by how many. Hold on. I was surprised by how many Negroes are in Joel Osteen's church.
Well, I knew it because I have an employee that's from Texas, and when that whole Joel Osteen thing came out about him not letting people in the church because of the hurricane and forth, she was kind of defending him. Like, what he did was wrong. It's a church. Anybody supposed to be able to go in there?
Like, when I saw that, I was like, you was like, dance a lot of black people. I was like, yeah. It seemed like
said
over
she
half.
been there before.
It seemed like over half his audience is black.
His congregation.
Like, damn. I didn't know niggas was out there in Osteen church like that.
Is this TD Jakes or Joel Osteen church?
Yeah,
I don't know which one it is.
He could be on the stage and you get the same audience.
Both hustlers.
Yeah, but they this story right here.
But hold on. So can she only see? She can only see the baby with the glasses on. That's the.
I don't know. It's a crazy ass story. Look at this right here, y'all. The picture alone should have you like, what the fuck? So you see this baby is like a hologram.
Okay, I get it. The glasses and the glove.
Yeah. Now watch this. Virtual babies who grow up in real time will become commonplace by 2070, expert predicts.
Well, they can't get pregnant no way. So
now look at this. So white people, for the most part, can't get pregnant. They're not having as many kids.
They out here pushing cats and dogs and strollers.
I was walking a dog once, and a woman came up to me with this cat. This cat was fat as hell. I mean, it's a fat cat, and she had a cat in a stroller. And she said, "Wow, how much do your dog weigh?" I said, "I don't know. I don't weigh my dog. It's not a." And she was like, she said her cat weighed like 25 pounds. Yeah, you got a cat that weighs about 25 pounds too. What do you call them? Tom cats? Big ass cats.
Anyway, I ain't out here pushing damn animals and strollers. These motherfuckers are weird. They out here pushing. You got grannies out here pushing their damn pets
Calling
and
grandkids.
strollers because they ain't got no grandkids.
Yeah. The overpopulation crisis could be solved within 50 years thanks to the evolution of the virtual children, one of Britain's leading artificial intelligence experts claims. Computer-generated babies that cost about $25 a month are likely to become commonplace by the early 2070s, according to Catriona Campbell.
They ain't got to worry about no baby formula.
Nope. Well, hold on. You got to pay $25 a month. So you buying virtual baby stuff.
No, I think the $25 for a month is just like for the gear that you're paying for.
You know they have you paying for virtual clothing as well, shoes, everything.
Let's see, that's crazy.
Because it says that it grows in real time, which makes them go from a baby to an adult teen. So what happens when it's an adult? Do it just die? Delete itself?
Exactly. Or do it live on?
Or is it AI and is it going to replace you?
Probably so.
So now would you pass down your stuff to your AI child? Your will?
See, this is when we start getting delusional.
In addition to his expertise in AI, Campbell is also one of the UK's top authorities in emerging and disruptive technology. And the former UK government advisor says by 2027, augmented reality and haptic touch-sensitive gloves will make the experience potentially lifelike. By the time up to 1 in 5 parents may decide to opt for a digital baby over a real one, she believes. It will create what is being dubbed as the Tamagotchi generation, the first cohort of environmentally friendly digital children. So children are not environmentally friendly. Real flesh and blood children are now harms to the environment. They're calling children a cancer.
Well, they probably going from the
what?
They're going for the perspective of diapers are not good for the environment.
Oh, they're just saying humans in general. They're saying humans are pieces of shit and shouldn't live. So let's just bring up digital baby.
Diapers, baby wipes.
Humans. Because you're saying the children ain't shit, you're saying the adults ain't either. We don't want you to have more kids that have more.
Then when they get
people.
older, the cycle happens all over again. Diapers, baby wipes.
By the time up to 1 in 5 may decide to opt for a digital baby over a real one, she believes it will create what is being dubbed as the Tamagotchi generation, the first cohort of environmentally friendly digital children who will not deplete the planet of any of its natural resources.
Damn.
So you drinking water is destroying the Lord. Instead, they will exist only in the virtual metaverse.
Well,
a sort of 3D internet where they will grow up in real time and come to life at the touch of a button.
I mean, how people do their parents is crazy anyway. People just take their family members, drop them off in a assisted living or a nursing home, and don't even come back to visit them. Pretty sad. Hell, they might as well get a virtual kid because their real kids ain't doing shit for them.
Bullshit. Look
Ain't
at
no
this.
bullshit. It's real.
Look at this. Now, this is how you know shit getting twisted. When feminists got you agreeing with them, you defending them. Norwegian feminists facing up to 3 years in prison over tweets. A Norwegian feminist could be facing up to 3 years in prison over allegedly hateful tweets directed at a male who claims to be a lesbian woman.
That's Zion. Zendaya
Oh,
Wade.
Yeah. Hold on.
He is a
So wait. A male lesbian woman is a straight male.
yeah, that's what Zion is.
He's
Zendaya.
He's a crazy. Yeah, he's a straight male.
He is a I don't know what he's come out as, but he's with a white transgender girl
who wants to be a boy.
But
dates a boy who wants to be a girl.
So he is technically
in a straight he's in a heterosexual relationship.
He's in a heterosexual relationship. He just likes to, dress up.
She's been investigated on a hate crime charge for tweets she made back in February 2021 and January 2022. I'm gonna go to the tweet that she said, why does FRI teach young people that males can be lesbians? Isn't that conversion therapy? A second tweet that has been cited as evidence of hate speech reads, who is male and an advisor of FRI presents himself as a lesbian? That's how bonkers the organization which supposedly works to protect young lesbians' interests is. How does it help young lesbians when the male claims to be a lesbian too? This world.
See, that's what's gonna happen when they start getting in these damn bathrooms. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I think I'm a lesbian now."
Oh yeah.
This is you would use you're a transgender
lesbian
woman, but now you went into these bathrooms and you seeing ass, and now you're I think I'm a lesbian.
Do people really go in bathrooms and see ass though? I mean,
some people. The stall might be left open one day.
Okay.
I mean, some people, yeah.
U.S. official meets Korean LGBTQ activist in Seoul, South Korea. U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman met with Korean LGBTQ community leaders.
Why?
During her visit to Seoul Tuesday as part of a Joe Biden administration's pro-LGBTQ
Shouldn't
foreign
it be
policy.
Israel's job to do that?
Who?
Israel. They have the biggest LGBT community in Tel Aviv. They have the biggest.
But America is the one who's pushing the wine of her iniquity. According to the media note from the U.S. Department of State released June 3rd, Sherman met with Korean LGBTQ activists to highlight the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion in Pride Month. I didn't know Pride Month is global. So it's global
June.
now. No, I'm saying it's global.
And they haven't put on the buses yet. They still got Black Lives Matter buses. They run all year long. They let the Pride buses run until about August. It goes all the way through the summer, even though it's just for the month of June.
Yeah.
They let it run to about August.
Well, June is supposed to be Black Music History Month. Well, Black Music Month. And it's supposed to be, you got Juneteenth. But it's, this is the third official meeting of I think June is, isn't it Caribbean Heritage Month?
I don't know. I'm not
maybe
Caribbean.
I'm wrong. Yeah, maybe it's wrong.
I would know.
This is the third official meeting for high-ranking U.S. government personnel with the Korean LGBT activist, former Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and the U.S. Department of State first ever special envoy for the human rights and LGBTQ people, Randy Berry, held previous meetings in the Capitol in August 2015 and in February 2016, respectively. That means it's happening underneath Obama, Trump, and now Biden. So it hasn't changed.
It don't matter who's president.
Same thing going out there. And they met with, they said they met with religious leaders and celebrities and stuff. And I thought, what are religious leaders doing there?
Well, we had a pastor out of North Carolina defending transgenders going into bathrooms. A black man as a pastor defending transgenders going into bathrooms.
Well, we saw that Biden just put out a thing saying that any schools that do it get government funding, as far as lunches and stuff, it's tied now to their trans courses and stuff.
Let's hurry up and get this dude's ass off the damn screen.
I zoom in.
Little girl tipping.
So the little girl is tipping a damn drag queen, and he's supporting it, saying he's happy that mom did it and all that stuff. And people in the comment section, right here, she said, while nudity isn't sexual by nature, Brother West certainly is. This is weird. Y'all are weird. And this woman said, I'm a strong woman. I don't have to get naked to be noticed. My self-esteem does not live by the dollar hill.
A lot of y'all do have to get naked to be noticed.
Remember the little boy going around to gay bar. Now they got little kids.
He was the one that went
meeting
on,
up with drag queens.
Was it Good Morning America? We talked about that like 4 episodes ago.
What talking about?
Little boy.
Yeah, little boy.
He's a transgender. No, he's
he's just a regular little boy. He's a drag.
He's a drag queen.
Why do you want the kids? Oh, we know why. By the way, that's not an actual question I'm asking. So we know why. We talked about this last week. I'm just gonna go over it for shoot. Biden administration to send longer range rocket systems to Ukraine as part of a new aid pack. We talked about this. Then they said it's sending $700 million, and then the Ukrainians promised they wouldn't use those rockets to fire into Russia, even though America knows they are. They made them promise they weren't. And a former Russian president came out and said if any of those rockets hit a Russian owned piece of equipment or personnel, they will attack the decision-making centers, which means the Pentagon. If you send weapons to Ukraine and those weapons are used to attack Russians, they say they're going to attack the decision-making centers, and that goes along with their willingness to nuke. Once again, nobody's talking about it, but yeah. Remember a few months ago when the Pentagon said and U.S. media said they had nothing to do with biolabs in Ukraine, that they were just helping them. They had nothing to do with it. This is one of the articles. They said, Pentagon's work with Ukraine's biological facilities become flashpoint in Russia's information war. They're trying to say Russia was overstating it, lying, pushing propaganda. Well, now they came out and said this, or at least the information has came out. This is Great Game India. It amazes me how often Great Game India is able to get information about America that American publications aren't talking about. Pentagon finally admits to running 46 biolabs in Ukraine. Not working with, but running.
That's totally different. It means I'm in charge.
In a recent document,
I oversee.
Exactly. In a recent document, the Pentagon admitted to running 46 biolabs in Ukraine, but said that they are peaceful efforts to improve nuclear and radiological safety and security, disease surveillance, chemical safety and security, and readiness to respond to epidemics and pandemics such as COVID-19.
So they're producing chemical warfare.
Wait, so they're telling me those 46 labs are about COVID?
Those 46 labs about every disease you could think of.
So, how did that happen? According to the Pentagon, the U.S. government has funded 46 biological research facilities in Ukraine over the past 20 years, but only as part of a peaceful public health endeavor rather than to develop weapons. Russia and China have been accused by the U.S. military of spreading disinformation and sowing mistrust about its efforts to rid the world of weapons of mass destruction. Did they really use that word? The media has not used the word weapons of mass destruction since Bush.
9/11.
Because it was proven to be a bullshit. They're now reusing the language. It's just a cycle. Now they're going to push that Russia got weapons of mass destruction now? Is that the new push?
Probably so.
U.S. lacks a clear picture of Ukraine's war strategy, official says.
Then why you funding somebody that you don't even
know what they're doing?
You don't know what they're doing. Just send them money.
President Vladimir Zelensky of Ukraine has offered near daily updates of Russia's invasion on social media. Viral video posts have proven the effectiveness of Western weapons within the palms of Ukrainian forces. And the Pentagon has often held briefings on developments within the struggle. However, regardless of the circular of all this information to the general public, American intelligence companies have much less info, than they about the Ukraine operations and possesses a much better image of Russia's Navy. its deliberate operations, and its successes and failures based on present and former officers. So wait, they're saying that they don't know what the wins and losses is of the Ukrainians. So all the Ukrainians are showing is them quote unquote winning something, blowing something up, and they're using the weapons, but they don't know about their losses. So they're saying they know.
Do they
more
have
about
Hollywood sets over there in the Ukraine? Because that's the only thing they blowing up is stuff on set.
Remember they was capturing quote unquote Russian soldiers,
like when
making them apologize. And Russia pointed out they're lying. That's propaganda. They're capturing supporters of Russia in the eastern parts and having them act like they're Russian soldiers.
When the Ukrainian president took a picture of him in a stairwell sitting down with the military stuff behind him.
It was kind of like walking around in the debris with his people looking determined,
just like the Ethiopian guy did too.
I'm so glad you brought that up. What happened to Ethiopia's war with the Targaryens?
Yep, they just went away.
Remember when he was going to war on the front lines, and then he went on the front lines with a camera, and we ain't heard nothing about that since? Did they give up? Did they win, lose?
We haven't followed up on it.
Yeah, you're right. We haven't followed, but it was news. It was been put in front of us.
Did Al Jazeera?
You know, the same man that came out and said Black Americans are their own failure because they should be more like the Jews.
Is it Al Jazeera? What's the name of that?
Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera.
Yeah.
Have they did a follow up on that? Because they were the main one talking about it.
I'm subscribed to them. I haven't seen them speak on it.
Okay.
That's the same man, by the way, the one who's leading Ethiopia, who said that Black Americans should be more like Jewish people.
Oh, we should be more like Jewish people?
Yeah, and not let the past dictate us and just, put our heads down and do something about it. That was who said that. But
man, smelling like oil.
Now they sent $40 billion to Ukraine, and now they saying, "Hey, we don't know what's going on over there." Then remember, Biden just came out and says that he said Ukraine needs to start negotiating with Russia, and we also showed you that there's a lot of officials coming out saying that something need to happen before August. The average rent price, by the way, is supposed to be up at about $2,000 by August.
And that's true. I read an article today in a Caucasian man in I think it's Vancouver, Washington, or some part of northern Washington, saying how his trailer was $800. He paid the whole entire time during pandemic, so it's not like the owner trying to get his money, recuperate his money that he lost. No, he's just like, I'm gonna charge you $2,000 now. That's 150% increase on rent. That's crazy.
Now they saying that's tied to inflation, all this stuff, and a lot of people just trying to get their money back from the pandemic, possible losses other places.
How's that inflation for him if the guy has been paying his money the whole time?
No. He owns more than one trailer, I'm sure.
So he gonna make other tenants who've been loyal to suffer?
All of them.
Well, get ready to. So who gonna pay $2,000 for a trailer?
Everybody. You're not gonna own nothing. Your ass going into an apartment. People can't sell their houses right now because the market is so crazy. It's hard to sell a house. It's hard to buy a house.
If nobody's living in these houses and stuff, so you're gonna have this land, you're gonna have these properties with nobody living in them?
Oh, people gonna be living in them. People that can afford them.
A person who can. So there's a person that's gonna pay $2,000 a month for a trailer.
People doing it now. He's doing it, ain't he?
No, he said he's gonna be out on it. He's gonna be out on his ass.
Somebody gonna move in for $2,000 for that trailer.
Then they dumb as hell.
That's gonna be their new economy. Now they sent $40 billion over there, and now they're telling them they need to negotiate. So what was the point of sending them the $40 billion?
For the labs and stuff.
There you go. Sound like some money laundering going on. I would love to see the bank accounts of some of these people in office.
Allegedly.
All the people who voted for this bill, voted for the $40 billion to go over there. I want to know what their bank account information is in the next 5 years.
This is all speculation.
How many exclusive deals did they sign for book deals? Bullshit book deals for 5 books and they don't write none of them. I want to know where they get their money from.
Some people say, why are you worried about my money?
Because I know where they're getting their money from. These bullshit deals they pushing.
You ain't my money man.
And now Russia is now putting people to death by trial. If you are a foreigner going to Ukraine to help them and the Russians capture you, they will put you on trial and put you to death.
Oh, like these niggas that wanted to go over there and help?
See, I didn't find the information. See, I wasn't going to bring it up because I didn't find the story that said it was niggas.
No, I'm talking about in general. There was Negroes on
what's his name?
space.
Nance? Larry Nance is his name? Or Larry, something Nance?
Larry Nance, go over there and sign up.
Is his name Larry Nance?
I don't know what his name is.
He just went along with it.
But he's like a damn Nance. He's annoying. This is all in your damn ear. You just want to slap his ass down.
But yeah, they also captured 2 British men who were in Ukraine, and they're gonna put them to death. And I saw a dude say that 2 black men were caught over there, and they about to get put to death, but I could not find the article.
He wanted us to be in an uproar over them.
No, he was joking on them.
Protesting.
No, he was joking on them.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, be careful if you decide to go over there.
Like Brittany Griner. Nobody has came out in support of. Why is Brittany Griner? Oh, she's had a backing, a following. Who? It has not reached.
Because most people are like
coverage.
She's not going nowhere. Like, it's Russia. I don't know how you got caught in Russia at the wrong time.
Man, she over there eating everything.
Russian state TV warns of nuclear war that only mutants will survive. Now, you had a point when you saw that headline. You said, who are the mutants?
The vaccinated or the unvaccinated?
That's what my mind went. I was like, wait, what do they mean mutants? But the reason why he said it is because nobody's going to survive, basically. They talking about bombing Texas. They said they could hit Texas with 5 bombs and destroy it. This is how Russia's talking on their TV. On state TV.
Why Texas?
Because it's the biggest state.
But they're the most conservative people.
No, they were saying the size. They saying we can take Texas out. Oh. So what do you think we could do with New York, Washington, D.C., California, Seattle, Carolina,
don't you dare
Florida.
Don't bring up Carolina.
That's what the Fort Bragg is at. It's there.
I know.
They going after them. Sorry. Maryland.
What you mean sorry?
They going after North Carolina. Anybody there, if shit pop off, get away from the coast. Get the hell away from the coast. Go north or middle America.
Maybe that's what they want to lure you to.
Go to Canada or Mexico.
Hey, they want to reunite and make America one.
So that's why America's trying to do that. America want everybody to be on the side so they can cross them borders to go in your country. Everybody thinking that they want Mexicans and Canadians to come into America. No, Americans want to get out of them country and go to Mexico or Canada. And then you see this one here. Now they started talking about Raven Rock Mountain Complex, Biden's bunker in the face of nuclear war. So this thing hasn't been talked about for a while. There's a bunker in Maryland that is for the president's protection in case of a nuclear war or some type of attack. Now, why they start talking about this randomly? Now, they're not talking too much about the threats of nuclear war that Russia and Putin is talking about, but they're talking about the bunker. They even went on, I think it was MSNBC, and they were saying how do Biden and his administration believe in a segregated nuclear attack, as in you're not gonna bomb the whole country, you're just gonna bomb a few states and it's gonna stop.
Well, that's like Jericho.
Exactly. If
y'all show Jericho,
that was a good show too. It really ended. I don't
abruptly.
Know. It ended abruptly because I guess it wouldn't get the viewership, but it was a good show. But I
think it would get the viewership now, though.
They actually believe that if a nuclear war started, that it will be contained. But once you see a few of your cities get destroyed, the country you're sending bombs to they're gonna send everything at you and get you off the planet. It's not gonna end the way they think it's gonna end. This place is also by Fort Detrick, and it's by they call it the underground Pentagon, but it's also by Camp David, where the presidents go. All that stuff is in Maryland. It's funny.
Why the name it Camp David?
It was started by David. I forgot the guy's name. I think it was the former president.
Oh, okay.
I forgot his last name, but yeah. All right. Now we're going to show they're having a meeting, and Bolsonaro, I forgot how you say his name, the president of Brazil, I believe it is, or Colombia, one of those. He's meeting up with them, but they still don't recognize him as president. But they didn't invite the interim president that they picked, talking about America. The guy that they didn't want to be president, he was invited though. And he wants certain things to be agreed upon before he show up. And like I said, he'd be silly to go to that damn meeting because he's going to have some type of secret weapon used against him. Some type of, Back in the 80s, black men used to talk about, whatever, the 70s, I'm sorry.
Oh, they had a gun.
They had a gun that shoot a needle at you and get called it a heart attack gun. And they mocked black men and black people for saying it was a heart attack gun. And then the CIA, I think it was, or the FBI, went in front of Congress and talked about a heart attack gun. Niggas was saying they shooting people with a gun to give you a heart attack. And then they admitted it in front of Congress. You ever notice they don't talk about the weapons they got in front of Congress no more? Those big committee meetings where they talk about, hey, these are the weapons we got.
Well, everything should be televised.
That should. If you're using this stuff against the civilians.
But then other countries to know what your
by the time they tell you, it's 20 years old.
Everything shouldn't be televised.
If it's something you're using against the people, yes, it should.
Well, they shouldn't be using it against the people.
They are, though. So at least tell me. So when somebody has a random heart attack, I might know why.
It's not a different subject. The president's meeting with President Bolsonaro of Brazil. The AP is reporting that the Brazilian government, President Bolsonaro, wanted concessions from the president for that meeting and for his attendance at the Summit of the Americas, that he wouldn't bring up. Bolsonaro's casting doubts about Brazil's election system, as well as environmental concerns in the Amazon. Can you confirm that report?
I cannot confirm that report. The president is looking forward to leaving tomorrow to head to the summit that we are hosting. I can say this: the United States continues to recognize Juan Guaido as the interim president of Venezuela. That said, while the interim government was not invited to participate in the main summit, they are welcome to participate in all 3 stakeholder forums and other events.
Now, we're going to talk about them trying to put people at the head of states or the head of countries and put these puppets in charge. Biden, other leaders at summit reached migration pact despite attendance flat. And watch this. President Joe Biden and other Western Hemisphere leaders on Friday announced what will be billed as a roadmap for countries to host large numbers of migrants and refugees. So they're trying to find a way for each country to take on more migrants and refugees. The Los Angeles Declaration, perhaps the biggest achievement in Summit of the Americas, which is undercut by the differences over Biden invitation list. Leaders of Mexico and several Central American countries sent top diplomats instead after the U.S. excluded Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. If I'm not mistaken, all those countries are...
they're on their shit list. They with Russia.
And they all are communists, if I'm not mistaken. So they're all with Russia. Venezuela, Cuba. I didn't know Nicaragua was, but it makes sense considering what happened back in the 80s with the crack epidemic. That's what did it. Yeah. A set of principles announced on the summit final day includes legal pathways to enter countries, aid to communities most affected by migration, human border management, and coordinated emergency responses. Each of us is signing up to commitments that recognize the challenges that we all share. Biden said on the podium with flags for the 20 countries that joined the accord, extending to Chile in the south and Canada to the north. This is just a start. The White House highlighted measures that were recently announced as some of new commitments. Costa Rica will extend protections for Cubans. Nicaraguans and Venezuelans will arrive, who arrived before March 2020. Mexico will add temporary worker visas for up to 200,000 Guatemalans a year. United States is committing $314 million to assist countries hosting refugees and migrants, and is resuming and expanding efforts to reunite Haitian and Cuban families. Belize will regularize Central American and Caribbean migrants in the country. It is a blueprint already being followed by a large extent by the Colombia and Ecuador, whose right-leaning leaders were saluted at the summit for giving temporary legal status to many of the 6 million people who have left Venezuela in recent years. So remember we talked earlier about Mexican president asking for a super American super state? Mm-hmm. Biden saying the same thing. This is just a mild version of what they're talking about. They just kind of adding more, a list of adding more people that can come in through migration. He's giving $314 million, pledging for $314 million to the countries that take these migrants on. Is it not the same as just saying open border?
Pretty much.
He's pretty much saying open the border. That's it. And speaking of an open border and putting puppets in charge, look at this. Guess who this is? This is now the Prime Minister of Haiti. We now know for a fact the assassination attempt, the successful assassination of the Haitian president 100% included America.
Yeah.
So is he a puppet that America chose?
Yes. No doubt about it.
So that's why he was invited to the Summit of the Americas.
No doubt about it.
We talked about that Haitian assassination. And I was surprised by how many Haitians were like, they hated the president. And they were just like, they were kind of lukewarm on the assassination. It was like, no one has the right to kill our president, but he wasn't supposed to be in office. They wanted him out of office
so bad that they didn't even care.
He got voted into office, but he wasn't able to begin his administration run until a year later. So he wanted an extra year as president.
Which is right.
But they was like, we've been through this before. We're not going back into a dictatorship. Get out of office. I was like, damn. And then he gets killed, and it's like his eyeball gets shot out, allegedly shot out. I think his eyeball was taken out. They were trying to, like you said, they're trying to get into a safe for some money that allegedly he was hiding from an oil deal with Venezuela, but we don't know. All right, let's get to the next part now. We're going to talk about black people. And do we give a damn? Are we starting to lose interest in voting? That's the point of this episode called Black Apathy. Or I should have said Black Political Apathy. Do we even got interest or care or any sort of emotional attachment at this point? Or should we even have any attachment at this point? But let's get into it. All right, Negro. All right, let's get started.
I'm not your Negro.
You should have left that quote alone. What's his name? I forgot his name. Black voters losing interest in the Democratic Party. This is what they're saying, at least.
Oh, man.
There was a column written. These black men say they'll vote for Caruso, not Bass. Is that the Ice Cube effect?
Well, they don't want to vote for her bald-headed ass.
The Ice Cube effect. Okay.
What has she done for the black community? Karen Bass.
Well, she was the leader. She's the former leader of the Congressional Black Caucus.
And what the fuck have they done? Absolutely nothing.
When they brought out that credential, I was like, you should have left that one in the bag, because you should have left that one alone. So this column was written, and they go on to talk about the black male support for Karen Bass, or the lack of support, as they say, to be continue to be the mayor. And they're pretty much saying of all the people they polled, she made the point that half of the people that she polled are willing to, black men at least, were willing to vote for Caruso. But then in the same article, she said that black men were disillusioned with politics. If I'm willing to vote for a politician, I'm not disillusioned. I'm participating in politics. So it seems to me what really happened is you went out and polled these black men and asked them, are they willing to vote for Bass? And they said, I ain't voting for no one. I'm not voting. And because just like in 2020, people told you that if you don't vote for Biden or don't vote at all, that's a vote for Trump. So me not voting, I'm still, to you, your enemy. I'm voting for the other person, even though I don't like them either. Why is my vote automatically guaranteed to somebody? Shouldn't they have to earn it?
Not when you black. You're supposed to automatically vote for the Democratic Party.
So you see here, she said, in retrospect, I remember the first indication that LA mayor candidate Representative Karen Bass might have some trouble hanging on to the endorsement of black men. It came in mid-May when famed Long Beach rapper Snoop Dogg decided to reach out to his main rival, billionaire developer and former Republican Rick Caruso, and offer his support. You got my support, he told Caruso on Zoom. TV news cameras documented the exchange. Whatever you are a part of in bringing love to the community, we are a part of that. A few days later, there was another sign. I remember that too. Clarence Avant. Now, Clarence Avant, didn't his wife just get killed?
I have no idea.
That's the guy they call the Black Godfather. The Godfather. Remember that? that documentary on Netflix talking about how he has connections to everybody from Michael Jackson, James Brown, President Obama, all politicians, Al Sharpton, everybody.
He's a gatekeeper.
He is the connection with everybody. Somehow he's an unknown dude that knows everybody you could think of. Chris Brown, Usher, any rapper, singer, actor, they know him.
Top Mason on the black side.
Yeah. She said, Clarence Avant, then the revered music industry mogul who introduced the then Senator Barack Obama also supported Caruso in South California political and entertainment circles. The 91-year-old whose wife Jacqueline was murdered last year during an attack on their Beverly Hills home left it up to the candidate to break the news. I am humble and grateful to have his support, Caruso told the Times. Weeks later, it's now clear that these two black men have a lot of company. A new survey of potential voters conducted by UC Berkeley Institute of Government Studies and found that nearly half the black men plan to vote for Caruso in Tuesday's primary election. In fact, of all the men surveyed, they were most likely to be endorsed by black men. That's somewhat surprising as a black woman, more than a little mysterious. Bass spent years working in South LA's black and Latino neighborhoods and serving as one of the two black members of the city congressional delegation. Looking at, now hold on, what does Latino got to do anything?
You know they always bring Latinos up, so.
Of course, it's not written in stone somewhere that all black people should vote for black candidates. Lots of black men and women certainly support Caruso for sound policy reasons of their own. Maybe even Snoop Dogg, certainly Clarence Avant. So wait, why is the article about black men?
Because there's been a lot of black male celebrities that have come out and supported. What's the dude's name?
Only two.
It's more than two.
Who?
It's two. It's three. It's 2 or 3 more that I saw. I can't remember the names off the top, but I've seen more than those two come out and support him.
But she said lots of black men and women certainly support Caruso for sound policy reasons of their own. So why focus on the men?
Because you know how I go.
After all, we are not a pillar of stone. I mean, look at Larry the Elder.
Larry Elderly.
That's what you call him. But in a city that is very liberal, in a very liberal state, it is also true that Caruso is the most conservative candidate to run for mayor, that in many of his proposals, though answering to real problems and public anger, have been favored by most black Angelino. I cannot say the Los Angeles name for the citizens. Is it Angeloso? How you say that?
What do you
Angelisos? I've never been able to say that word. It's Los Angeles. You say North Carolinian, New Yorker.
Is it Angeloso?
Angelinso, I guess. I don't know. What did they want to say? Caruso, for example, favors a return to some of the destructive hard crime strategies of the past, laying off more people and turning away from criminal justice reform. He wants to add 1,500 officers to the Los Angeles Police Department, and the former LAPD chief William J. He is endorsed by Bratton. He is a broken policing notoriety. Homelessness. Caruso quickly seeks to clear more camps, which is disproportionately occupied by black men, thanks to decades of systematic housing discrimination. So she went on to talk about why they shouldn't support him.
But what is the mayor, Karen Bass, doing for all those people in those homeless camps right now? So he's going to do a sweep and get rid of them, and she just keeping them there, not doing anything?
They're homeless now.
Exactly.
Under her.
Exactly.
So
she's not doing nothing but letting them stay there, and he talking about cleaning them up and getting them off the street. So
they're homeless now. The stuff is happening while she's mayor.
They're just ignoring that part.
But with voting early underway in LA, Mayor, a new poll shows that the front runner Karen Bass LA is having trouble hanging on to support from black men. We saw this. But for some background, the poll of likely voters found that Bass is leading Caruso overall 38% to 32%. But half of black men plan to vote for Caruso in the primary election. And of all the men surveyed, black men were most likely to support him. But somebody read the data and it said nothing about the demographic of black men in the data. that black men would back Caruso, who is pushing tough on crime policy ideas that counter what mostly black, can't say that, have long said they wanted, is mystifying, especially given the years Bad spent working. We saw that. But after a few conversations, I believe the answer has to do with what I'm calling the Ice Cube effect. Many black men are disillusioned and fed up with the status quo. They feel politicians can't solve their problems and so are disengaged from politics. But aren't their problems the black community's problems?
Yes, not. Two totally different demographics.
For a Democratic Party that depends on black voters to win elections, nationally, this is a problematic sign of things to come. As the midterms approach, there are fears that black voters who won't return this year or in 2024 in the numbers we did in 2020.
Okay, that's the bad thing.
Because if you can't convince majority of black men in an overwhelmingly liberal city like Los Angeles to vote for the former head of the Congressional Black Caucus, what hope do Democrats have in red and purple states? That's the Ice Cube effect. They're still using Ice Cube as an attack weapon against black men, by the way. I want to read this one. Only the black men who are ahistorical and transactional, with few exceptions, they will be sorely disappointed upon realizing that Caruso is not the sanitized Donald Trump Jr. they are expecting. And then somebody responded, the point is that nobody is the answer. Two sides of the same coin. So you saw a lot of people coming back and forth with belief. Most people were saying, why should they vote for her? I mean, if they're in the predicament they're in now, what's
she gonna do the next 4 years?
It's like what?
Nothing. Get her ass out of there. You know what? We tired of just voting for black people because they black. She ain't doing nothing for black people. Get her ass out of there.
I want to show this tweet. This is from 2020. This new Errol Weber, and I'm showing this to show why this black people just can't feel comfortable consistently voting for Republicans. They just make an ass out of themselves. This dude said, white liberals keep calling me a coon in my DM. Soon they will be calling me a congressman. Is he saying he's a coon?
No. He's saying,
I know he's saying they're gonna call me a coon now. They're gonna be calling me their congressman later.
What's wrong with him being a Republican?
I didn't say what's wrong with being a Republican. They just say crazy shit like this.
And why do they feel so comfortable saying stuff like that?
Who?
White people calling him a coon.
Well, because a lot of Negroes was calling people a coon that say certain things, and the white liberals get same thing happened to Ice Cube in 2020 when he came out with his plan, and you had certain blue checks going at him. There were a bunch of black people calling him a coon and a sellout, and you started seeing Caucasians and Mexicans calling him a coon and a sellout. Man, you were real back in the day, man. You're anti-police and all this other stuff. Now you're just a sellout. And it was like, what? He's a sellout when he created a plan for his people?
You was a sellout when you left your country.
Oh, shit.
There's a lot of sellout groups that have left their country.
Now, this is what I saw on Tariq's page. He put this up right here.
Oh, look at Kamala Harris. Is she black or Asian?
So now you see Kamala. That's
Karuchi Tran.
And look,
listen to the last name, Tran. Karuchi Tran.
Oh, that's the Asian name, ain't it? That's just an Asian name. That's all. And that's
Jeannie Mai.
So now she
had Jesus saying my Johnny Gill.
My. Shot it. Look, stop.
It's a shame.
VP Kamala Harris headlines South Carolina Democrats fundraiser. Now I'm showing this because while she's trying to get stuff passed for
you're showing the seriousness that she has one group versus the theatrics that she does for another group.
I ain't bother showing her speech at the Asian thing, because she's always trying to pass legislation and
for them. But
all that
when it comes
stuff.
to black people, she started doing a roll neck thing.
The neck roll.
She started thinking about Willie.
Talking about
moving her neck.
Talking about Timbs and Jordans.
Mouth get watery.
Why my mouth get watery?
You know why her mouth get watery when she started thinking about Willie?
Oh. What's his name? Willie Brown?
Willie Brown.
Willie! All right. Let me show you what Kamala had to say when she stood in front of a group at a fundraiser event in South Carolina.
Goose Creek, and I was there with Jay Moore and Charlemagne the God, and I was about to head out of town to meet my family and cook for Thanksgiving. I won't mention where I was going, but where I was going, I knew I was not going to be able to find the kind of greens there that I could get here.
So wait, she wanted us to believe that she was going to get some greens for her Caucasian Jewish husband and his Caucasian kids. They needed her. They needed those Southern South Carolina greens.
Well, she done turned them on to the greens.
What they really want is they want some string bean casserole.
No, you're right. They want some green beans with some almonds and cranberries. They don't want no cornbread dressing. They just want plain white bread dressing. And you know they got to have their mashed potatoes. That's what white people love. Mashed potatoes. Just the standard stuff.
But yeah.
I'm concerned about how Kamala Harris gonna cook them greens because her mother is Indian.
Oh yeah.
So you gonna put some turmeric, some curry? Are they curry greens? Because you from Jamaica too. We gotta talk about how they cook their greens. They ain't the same as how Black Americans cook their greens. So how the fuck are you cooking your greens? We know you be putting raisins in the damn potato salad.
Oh Lord! All right, let's.
And so, yes, that was me in my suit and heels, walking through Charleston International Airport, carrying 2 big plastic bags full of fresh South Carolina collard greens.
That laugh. So annoying.
It's a true story. And yes, as I walked on the plane, there were a few people who gave me the look and the nod.
She's not charismatic at all. She's fake as a $2 bill.
$2 bill used to be real, ain't it?
Well, she was real back in the day when she was in her right profession as an escort.
Oh,
but she's fake now. She ain't living her.
She not living her truth.
Oh, this got me hot. This got me hot right here.
Why does it get you hot?
When are Black women gonna say stop? Stop taking us down this road. You know, walk with you, touched by an angel. When are y'all gonna start saying, please, no more? We don't want this attention, but you know, y'all like attention, so. This show right here is just unnecessary and uncalled for. What is the purpose of it?
Okay, this is what the 4th integration of a type of Black girl magic show.
So
they had a whole award show, but
not
anyway,
Simone
Sanders.
Simone Sanders. She has a show.
Well, her show is just a regular news show, ain't it?
No, she said her show isn't your average show. It's got a twist to it. It's her real. She, you know,
it's a news show though. It's
she's gonna impress everybody. She's not just there, you know, to make Joe Biden look good.
His mouthpiece. She not just.
But the first episode, she had his wife on there.
Yeah.
So Jill checked that shit real quick.
She said, "Listen here, Miss Linebacker."
We wanted to make this not just a sisterhood experience, but also a cultural experience.
You embody the spirit of Shirley Chisholm.
I'm in her office.
On Capitol Hill.
We are seen as a problem in this country, but of course I argue that we're the solution.
We have that superwoman cape on
all the time.
And we forget that it's okay to take the cape off. Here's to Black women.
The culture is Black women. Sunday, June 9th.
You know,
Eddie West made Joy Reid change her whole wig.
How many of them are Black American?
Exactly. A lot of the most
Travis,
of them.
let me tell y'all right now.
She's
Travis,
not Black American.
Travis,
the one that like E40. Tell me where to go. Is it E40 or is it, no KRS-One? She look like KRS-One.
Wow.
She's not Black American.
You just threw E40 under the bus. You just threw E40.
Too. She look like KRS-One.
Travis don't believe this woman is Black
She's
American.
not Black American.
Because he don't find her attractive. You're being very
I'm not being anything.
Yeah, you are.
Shit, women. There's a bunch of Black American women that said she ain't Black American.
She's biracial.
Oh, we know she biracial.
What's her name? Thede? Is she in this?
I don't know. I have to. Issa Rae is at the table. We know that her father is she's biracial.
Yeah. So she's Congolese.
And what's Issa Rae's father?
I don't know. Some African. I don't know.
Is it what's the country beside Gambia? Senegal.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think he's from the Senegal.
I don't know. I know the country, but I don't know. I know it's an African country. But
I don't. They don't need a show called.
I don't think it's a show. I think it's not a show.
It's just a one sit down thing.
It's like a series, like a what do you call it, a limited series or something.
So it's a series about black women showing how much they do for the community and
I think they mean
the
country.
Backbone for
the Democratic Party and all that.
The Democratic Party. So it's just them patting themselves on the back like Patrice Cullors did with the Black Lives Matter.
In front of a house that she bought because of the death of George Floyd. On the day that he was killed. Man.
So it's a show to pump our egos and make us have a bigger head than we already have.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is.
This is Professor Black Truth. Some drama has unfolded with Professor Black Truth and the Black Authority.
I really don't have a problem with the two. I know you have you said some.
What'd I say?
You said that you don't like the way he speaks to
I don't. I hate the way he speaks. He speaks very condescending and
arrogant.
He's very disrespectful. Even people that support him, I don't listen to him much.
I don't watch his.
But when I've listened,
I mainly watch
Professor Black Truth.
Professor Black Truth, not Black Authority.
Yeah, Black Authority. I've listened to him a few times, and people that call him
to Black Authority.
I'm subscribed to both of them.
Oh, I'm subscribed to Professor Black Truth.
I'm subscribed to all of them. Just because I don't watch them consistently don't mean I'll subscribe to them because you subscribe to it.
I'm subscribed to Professor Black Truth, but I'm not subscribed to Black Authority because hell, they're one and the same.
People say they're the same person. Somebody said there was a damn Hispanic or a white man.
They ain't no Enrique. That's a Negro. Both of them are Negroes, or he is a Negro. Either they brothers or he,
You think you use a voice changer or something? A slight voice changer?
No, they sound very similar.
A slight change to it to make it different?
I think they're brothers.
I don't know. They never came out and said it?
No.
It's kind of obvious. His name is Professor Black Truth and the other one's called Black Authority. It's kind of obvious.
Brothers, cousins, they some relation to one another.
But you see here, he said, we knew this reparations fight wasn't going to be easy. The anyone before 1900 loophole isn't new. We discussed it back in April. We got in their faces and forced them to drop the reparations for all victims of racism crap they tried. Now we must get in their faces again. So that report that came out last week, I think it was, we talked about it. Once again, you're not going to be able to see it because it was deleted. And we talked about the keynotes that they had in there. We didn't get a chance to read all 500 pages, obviously. But people now have read through all 500 pages. And in this, they have certain language in there. People of color, other group. They point out how other groups have been treated poorly due to racism in America. That's in the first chapter. They don't defend it. They don't make it a part of the claim, but they
talk about it.
They make it a point to point out this country has had a lot of injustices towards black people, and the proof is they've even done it to other groups. So they almost strengthen it. They're trying to strengthen their argument by saying they're not just racist to black people, they're racist to everybody, but this is for us.
You alone is enough, though.
This claim that I'm saying that you trying to look. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying they try to use other groups to strengthen their argument. That's my point.
Gonna let it be known that you alone is enough for people use your history and what you've been through to validate them. You don't need them to validate you. That's crazy.
the Asian, not caucus, the Asian something group just came out. No, the Japanese. A Japanese group just came out and gave the support to the reparations push in California because they said it's comparable to their payments for the Japanese encampment. So, allyship, as they say. They're allies. Say what you want to say.
No, I ain't gonna say nothing.
What you mean you gonna say nothing?
It's gonna get banned. You anti-Asian hate.
Oh, yeah.
You can't say shit about them.
They got us out of here for the Asian shit.
It'll be me exploiting their pain and suffering.
All right. So this person
and their looks.
This person said there was less than 1% black immigrants in the U.S. of A. in 1960, and even less in the 1900s. And the Cali vote for the community eligibility has happened. What am I missing? He said, perhaps you should be bothered to watch the video, then you know. He said, I watched it, sir, and you made it seem as though there were way more significant number of black immigrants here in 1900s than there were in 200K of them. It's also alluded to other groups, Hispanics being eligible, but eligibility vote happened and they are excluded. What am I missing? He said, why is it significant for such a small group to be included in our black descendants of American slavery reparations claim? What? Go back to your bottle.
You better be glad they didn't say the other thing they be going to too. Don't go back to your bottle and your.
So they went through and agreed with him on wanting to get rid of that.
Your helper to get you through today after you have a stressful day.
You still on? You want to say it, don't you?
I do, but I'm not gonna say it.
See, y'all done softened him up. A couple months ago, he would have said it. Y'all softening him up. Now, this person here said, I'm convinced now that Jason Black is either white. Why everybody assuming he's white?
He's not white.
I don't think this man is no white. Why is it the first attack? It's because he hasn't shown his face.
It's because he hasn't shown his face, and then if black people talk a particular way, a little properness.
He don't talk a particular way. Even
he talks proper.
No. When people say you sound white, it's not. I'm so sick of this. When people say someone sound white, it's not because you talk proper. It's because you change the tone of your voice.
Yeah. But sometimes people are not changing the tone of the voice. They're talking to how.
Listen to a
the
Negro,
environment that they raised in.
Listen to a Negro, male or female, at work around white people, and they'll sound like themselves, and there'll still be a tone difference. I'm not saying all black people. Some black people just themselves. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. They could be.
I have a coworker when she was herself, but they say when she worked there, and I was around her, they were like, when such and such is here, you sound a little more southerner than you do. And I said, well, y'all know I'm from the South.
Yeah.
But they were like, well, but you don't sound like that all the time. I was like, well, it's based on who I'm talking to.
Yeah, you be code switching. So when you're sitting in front of a white person, you sound more, you try to talk and make sure they understand you. Let me tell you something. Moving up here, I've dealt with people asking me, what'd you say?
My mama was pretty bad.
My mom, let me tell you something about the incident.
Got to put hands on.
My mama was speaking and someone asked her, what did she say? She said it again. They asked her again, what did you say? She got mad.
Yeah.
She's like,
and I have an employee. She's from Texas, the same one I'm talking about with Joel Osteen, and she said the same pronunciation how our mother says. She don't say shrimp, she says scrimp. And she was like, I told her it was scrimp, and she was like, what are you talking about? And she said in Texas they don't do that. You try to correct somebody, that's ill mannered, and you might get hit in the face. I said, damn.
But yeah, back to this. He said, I'm convinced now that Jason Black is either white or definitely non-ADOS. How can you say anyone can be B1, but at the same time cut the check in your bio? We live in a twilight zone. I don't see how those two things are conflicting, really. But let's listen to what.
It's conflicting if you are a hardcore
Black American
first. It's gonna conflict with you because you're trying to get your reparation payment. You're looking at all these other black people like y'all trying to get in on our claim. So they thinking B1. Some of them are, not all of them are.
Okay.
So they say when he's been saying, I knew for the whole time when he say B1, he's talking about globally black people. But I think maybe the newer people that started watching him thought when he said black first, he was talking about
Black American.
Black American.
Well, that was the people that believe only black people are in America. Everybody
all black people.
Hold on.
All black people ain't your people.
Hold on. You said that black people are only American.
Yes, I define black.
So you have to disagree with him then.
Yes, I do disagree with him.
But you. Okay.
I'm speaking for how he feels, not for how I feel.
You're playing devil's advocate. That's
no,
rare.
I'm not playing devil's advocate.
That's
how
his
he
point
feels.
for him.
Oh well.
You playing? Travis starting to.
I didn't feel like I was being devil's advocate at that moment.
Yeah,
though.
you were.
Oh,
here we go.
Now, do you have to be a descendant of American slaves or foundational to be black first? No, that was not what I meant. You don't have to be. But I will say this, in most effective ways or effectively, in all the ways that matter, Black First has replaced the concept of Pan-Africanism. I say again, in every manner that matters, Black First has replaced the concept of Pan-Africanism. Now,
So are you still a Pan-Africanist or?
Here's the thing. Let me just go ahead and say this. People like, for instance, number one person is Tariq. I knew Tariq a long time ago. I knew him from the conscious community. I knew him from since I was like 16, 17 maybe. And I knew him from the conscious community. And he was talking about white supremacy and global blackness. And I wouldn't say he was Pan-African. I feel like he was more of a black nationalist back then. Well, you support black people globally, but you kind of talk about mainly what's going on in your country. And you'll use examples from other country to fortify what you believe is happening in this country, if that makes sense.
I can't say that.
To me, maybe you're right. Maybe he was flat out Pan-African. But
all right, no, I believe I believe he was a black nationalist, but he definitely was talking about other groups.
I said that.
Doing documentaries, and I don't think he was relating it to us. I think he was just...
No, he was relating it to a global white supremacy type thing.
Okay, yeah.
But he was a black nationalist, but he talked about global white supremacy. He made the Haitian
1804.
1804. We watched that and couldn't watch the whole thing. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I don't even know where the DVD went. Yeah, I gave it to somebody. They never gave it back. Probably threw that.
Did you give it to somebody at work?
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? Well, not Gloria. It was someone else.
Dude, don't be telling people name on air.
They don't know her last name. I apologize though. I might edit it out. But yeah. Anyway, Tariq, I knew him for that. So I was very surprised when he jumped on the American flag toting, ADOS, FBA. I was very surprised when he started rocking the flag and stuff, considering what I've heard him say in the past. I remember when when something would happen, when a black person would get some type of justice against Caucasians, he would say something like, "Oh, gun." And now he goes Maroon Spirit.
Which is a deity.
And I'm just like...
West African.
I don't really know Black Authority that well. I didn't watch him that long. I probably known him for like 4 or 5 years, maybe. If that long. Maybe 3 years. So I can't tell you what he believed. Even though I'm very scared. Anyway, not even going to mention it. Whatever. The point I'm about to say is, has there not been some ideological changes that they went through? I know for a fact Tariq has. His ideology has changed 180 in the last 4 years.
Well,
I don't know about Black Authority.
To change your beliefs.
There's nothing wrong with it.
It's called growth and continuing, educating yourself and finding out different things.
But there's a problem when you don't admit that you changed. I said the same thing about Yvette. When I saw that video of her talking about Bernie Sanders, and she said, "What is reparations? We need something that help all people so they can get past all this other stuff."
That's all lives matter.
She was pushing the same thing Bernie Sanders put, but now we need to focus on us, and there's no problem with that to change your ideology. But you don't mention that you didn't always have that ideology.
Sometimes we be in relationships with these other groups of people, and our minds
relationships.
That's sometimes when black people be in relationships with other people of other races, they start being inclusive, and when they get out of those relationships, they focus more on their people again.
I know what you're saying.
So maybe that's what happens to some people.
You didn't want to say it?
Because I can't understand why one moment you would be saying, what is reparations going to do? We need to do something for all people, which is what Bernie Sanders stood for.
Yeah.
Even though that would still leave you at the bottom. Because if you uplifting everybody, somebody's still going to be at the bottom. So what changes your mindset to say, oh, now we need to focus on reparations for American descendants of slavery? That's it. I'm going to leave it at that.
Exactly. But this person here was going in on him, and I saw this video and I want to show it. It said, B1 rebranding as the evolution of Pan-Africanism is no surprise. Found the video. Jason Black hinted at his Spanish side when he joined infiltration and force with Tariq Nasheed against ADOS. He lied on Antonio in 2019.
You know what? They always messing with Antonio. Let me
say this. I don't got nothing to do with that beef. It's all ego on all sides.
I don't think Antonio got an ego.
Everybody has an ego.
Everybody has an ego, but for me, he hasn't displayed it.
Anybody who creates something and you feel like it's yours and someone else tries to, you got an ego. Everybody.
You be humble about it, though.
Yeah, but yeah. Let's see what he had. They found this clip I want you to see and tell me if this sounds like somebody that hasn't had an ideological change.
Because you believed in being an African who happens to be in America. I want you to recommit yourselves to the cause of descendants of American slaves, not ADOS, but to the descendants of American slaves. You do not have to give up your t-shirts. You can keep those. Keep your ADOS t-shirts. Keep your ADOS hashtag. Keep the ADOS, the spirit of the ADOS movement and the true purpose that you came to it for. But I just want to ask you, did you really start saying ADOS because you were thinking about Byron Allen? Did you start saying ADOS because you didn't think economics was the answer? You thought politics was the answer? Did you start saying ADOS because you believed in Antonio or because you believed in being an African who happens to be in America?
No, I never. You know what? It's funny. I've never said. Have you ever called yourself African or even thought you were African?
I went through a long journey to get to where I am in my ideology. I wouldn't say I ever said I was African. No. But
I've never thought it.
But I definitely was someone who looked at global blackness as a African thing, I guess you could say. I can't say I've ever looked at myself and said, I'm an African in America. No.
No, I've
always seen it Black American or African American. I guess you could say if I said I was African American, you could say that. But you gotta understand my ideology. I started with the conscious community, the commit. I never believed in it, but I watched it, heard some of it, realized how pseudo it was, how bullshit it was. Then you go into the, the Farrakhan, the Islam, and Christianity, and the
Black Hebrew Israelite.
And then you get to that, and then you get to even more of an understanding that everybody has an agenda that they're pushing, and that for the most part, people are telling you, even people who are sincere, are probably telling you 75% truth. That's a lot of lies. Even if it's 75% truth, that's still a lot of lie. Because they have their own belief and they don't say certain things because, it doesn't fit their narrative. So you have to understand that everybody you speak to has a narrative, has an agenda they're pushing, have an ideology they believe in. So most of the things you hear is not the truth. And you have to go find out on your own. So have I ever called myself an African? No. But did I have certain beliefs of global Africanness? Probably. I couldn't tell you. Maybe my teenage, early 20s. I don't know. Maybe. You say you haven't ever?
What?
Call yourself an African?
Never. In fact, all black people ain't your kin folk.
So you don't even think niggas in this country?
We different tribes.
When they say that Black Americans are a mixture of multiple tribes.
No, we're not.
This is why they say Black Americans are the epitome of Pan-Africanism, because we descend from multiple tribes from West Africa. This is why I say we are a Pan-African blood. We're multiple African groups.
Okay, next topic.
Now remember last week, once again, we talked about this. The Houston Museum of African American History, they put this up. They said, we can't wait for Juneteenth. Our festivities on Saturday, June 18th, starting at 11 a.m. will feature the rich musical and historical heritage of San Basilio de Colombia, the first black free town in Americas. And they were bringing over a Afro-Colombian group to perform music at the Juneteenth festival in Houston. And got a lot of backlash. People was like, what the hell? What the hell does that have to do with Juneteenth? Talking about the first black free town in Colombia.
That's true.
So got a lot of backlash. And they deleted the tweet. The tweet, at least. We don't know if they canceled the...
Oh, they still performing.
They're still going to perform, but they deleted...
They just don't... They want you to think it went away, but it ain't going away.
So now they tweeted this. They said, we understand that the history and celebration of Juneteenth is for us. Today we would like to highlight Energy accessories and holistics. Its synergy is one of our vendors at Houston Museum of African American Culture Juneteenth celebration on Saturday, June 18th.
But that vendor is not Black American, right?
They said most of them are the vendors.
Most of them are Black American?
Yeah, most of the vendors are Black American women.
Okay.
But
what did they bring down those black men that's making bread in Chicago to supply the bread?
But that's not Texas though. I think it's stuff based in Texas, ain't it?
Oh, so everything based in Texas.
At the Houston Museum, I would think.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong.
It's okay.
You go try to punch me later when it comes out. You gonna say, I'm not saying it is.
No, I'm perfectly fine if it's based in Texas because that is their
holiday.
That's their holiday.
Okay, yeah. Excuse me, but when did Juneteenth become a Pan-African holiday? Aren't those colors of Juneteenth red, white, and blue? And why is the history of the people enslaved in the United States and their subsequent freedom not being celebrated? Very disrespectful event. They've been doing that a lot.
What?
Every event I've seen for the Juneteenth, they've been using Pan-African colors.
And it's red, white, and blue.
They've been using the green, black, and
like right there, gold. It's red, gold,
and green.
Then you have his ass there.
Talib Kweli. Let me tell you something about Talib Kweli. This dude has it's a problem.
He has an obsessive personality.
When he got into it with ADOS, he spent months every day, Travis, every day arguing with people. And it was like, my God, like at some point he would kind of move on. He would not. And then it was some girl he got into it with. She said something about his wife being light skinned or something. I can't remember. And I don't know why she said something. He was on her ass for like a month. Like he was on her.
And she was like, get him off of me.
She started pushing this campaign that he was harassing her on him. And he got banned.
He wanted to smoke.
He got banned from Twitter. And she said at least that he got banned from Twitter and he started doing it on Instagram. I was like, damn.
You might as well delete your account and start over.
Well, she got a big following. And
so she couldn't
she benefited from it. Like him doing that made her gain followers. But Talib Kweli is a very he says some very disrespectful stuff. So I'm not surprised him being a part of this to purposely push his bullshit on it. But
of course it's in Philly.
Yeah. Now you show me this one. Billy Porter. I am so excited to take the Hollywood Bowl stage as part of the Juneteenth, a global celebration of freedom. It will be at the night filled with incredible music, celebration, and more. Get your tickets today.
What he gonna come there in a dress?
Of course,
a Pan-African dress. That's what his ass gonna have on.
Pan-African dress. So he said, special guest performance from Billy Porter. Is he a singer or something?
I think the nigga on Broadway.
What does he do?
I think he's on Broadway. We only know him because he went to some award ceremony I think he with a white man.
Of course.
They always with a white man.
Of course.
And he had on a fucking dress.
Yeah. Now
how is this global?
That's what I'm about to go to. Okay. Now.
And that's what put me back with the Afro-Colombians coming to Texas. Because that's why I was like, they trying to make this a global thing. Then I saw this shit.
When when Michael B. Jordan,
Juve,
when Michael B. Jordan was going into business with a Caucasian man, if I'm not mistaken, who was trying to start a company or
a bottle of
rum
called
Juve. So he trademarked it, but there was some reason it was put on Michael B. Jordan, but he wasn't the one who was doing it. But anyway, they came down on him so hard, saying that it's appropriation and all this other stuff.
But when it's your thing,
no, that's not it. Then when they had the carnival, I remember them saying when Black Americans who went to Carnival, they was like, I'm going to Carnival, but please can y'all play some hip hop and R&B? And they said, no, this ain't for Black Americans. This is for our culture.
Which is true.
This is true. We're not playing that here. We're playing our music, reggae and what's it called, Soho, whatever it's called. But then Juneteenth came around last year, and I saw the same people saying this is for everybody. And I'm like, first off, it's not even for all Black Americans if we want to keep it real. It's really for Texans, Galveston Texans.
And they will let you know if you get out of hand. They've already said that when reparation money come out, they should get extra because they were in bondage for longer than what everybody else was for.
If we want to get real to it, remember what Judge Joe Brown said? He said that what happened was the president sent Black soldiers to tell them they free, and they didn't believe him. So wait. So he had to send a white one and tell them a year later.
Which brings you back to the point that niggas don't believe anything unless
a white person
tell you. But at the same time, you have to understand that these people have been under bondage for so long, and actually seeing free people come and tell us that they trying to set us up.
They see a black man in a uniform telling them, "Hey man, you're free. Here's the paper."
But you have to realize they didn't believe them. They were like,
"Tell me, that sounds crazy."
It does sound crazy, but we have to live in their mind, their state of fear that they were in.
We talked about
so
this
they
before.
wanted to hear straight from the master's mouth. I can go, and someone was probably like, "Where I'ma go?
Shit, just pay me. I stay here.
I just stay here. I work for free."
Hell no, I don't know. None of them gonna stay for free. They would say, "You gonna pay me my money, but I stay here." But yeah, I just found it. They're trying to make that a global holiday now. And you've seen corporations that try to make ice cream out of it. They got pulled.
Well, the first thing they do is need to stop letting them telling them, "No, y'all not gonna use no Pan-Africanist colors. Use the colors it's supposed to be, which is red, white, and blue."
I ain't gonna show that. But yeah, let's talk about this.
I got something to say about Jay-Z.
All right, let me read a little bit of this first. Jack Dorsey and Jay-Z announced the Bitcoin Academy in Brooklyn, New York. The Bitcoin Academy will help those in financial hardship with free courses, devices, and data plans for residents of Marcy Prowse in Brooklyn, New York. Jack Dorsey and Jay-Z announced the Bitcoin Academy financial education for Marcy House residents in Brooklyn, New York. Classes are completely free to residents and will provide devices and data plans as needed. Programming for Crypto Kids Camp, courses for children ages 5 to 17 will also be provided for free. Jack Dorsey, founder of Bitcoin financial service company Block Inc., and Sean Jay-Z Carter have partnered with the fund to fund the Bitcoin Academy to provide financial education and empowerment to the community in which Jay-Z grew up. The educational program will take place in Brooklyn, New York for Marcy House residents with the intention of providing the community with the necessary tools to achieve financial independence, inclusion, and literacy in the place Jay-Z grew up. Education is where we start. This isn't just about Bitcoin. It's about the long-term thinking, local economies, and self-confidence, Dorsey said in a reply to his announcement. Courses are free to all of Marcy residents, including kids, and to make it even easier, we're providing devices and data plans for those who need it. What? Okay.
First of all, why is Jay-Z always partnering with some white man?
Yeah.
Secondly,
Bitcoin? Ain't not a nan nigga in no projects gonna be able to afford to purchase any Bitcoin.
And lastly, he could have been them bought Mercy projects.
And then he could have actually helped them with financial literacy when they have something
But
to own.
what he trying to do? He trying to say instead of
giving a man fish, teaching the fish.
That's the shit that he trying to say he doing.
Look, man,
Jay-Z is fake.
This is how fake Jay-Z is. And shout out to the dude from a couple months ago that called our video a classic when we talked shit about him. Jay-Z remember this man. This is the man who sold his record company with Dame Dash. He betrayed his friend and sold it so he could be the head of another company.
Dame Dash ain't shit either.
Then this is the man who started Tidal and took a picture, and it had nothing but a white staff. And then for a while he was, black people don't support black institutions.
And then he told black people not to support NFL. And then what did he do?
He
sign on to be
partner with the NFL. And then after he told black people to support Tidal and black creators, he sold Tidal. This is what he do. He flip. And hey, get your money. But he sells it as this. He didn't start turning into this pro-black bullshit until the last 5-6 years, letting his hair grow out and all this goofy shit.
What's the name of that album he did?
444. The most overrated. Niggas pissed me off when they were pushing that shit. Nas did the same album like 10 years before that, and it was better.
I think Yvette talked about Jay-Z in that album.
It was the most overrated.
It really wasn't that deep.
The man said, "Save your money." And people were like, "Yeah, man, yo, Jay talking some real shit. Save your money. Buy some art, nigga. Can you afford art? Can you afford a $200,000 piece of art?
I'm supposed to save money to buy art and then do what with it?
Just to have it so I can have a net worth, basically. Look, if you got money, that's some stuff you should already know. And if you ain't got money, that shit don't do nothing for you.
If you in Mercy Projects, your ass don't give a damn about no art painting.
You probably don't care about our art.
You living day to day.
Like, it's just...
You got real problems.
Jay-Z got to be... The turnaround he's trying to create has been some of the dumbest. But you can't say that to the Jay-Z Avengers, man. There's some Negroes out here. If you say something about Jay-Z...
If it's some New Yorkers that watch us, I'm pretty sure.
If you out there, look, did you know the truth is the truth?
I don't give a fuck.
I remember when people talking about him selling Tidal, and it was like, that's what you're supposed to do. You buy a company and you sell it for money. Like, well, don't tell me to support the shit. Don't tell me to support black business if you're planning on selling it.
I told you, you got some fake pro-black people out here, just fake. They'll do anything to sell they merchandise. That's what they be doing.
That's incredible.
Selling an image of them, and they know that's who they not. They know that's not who they are, but they sell this fake image of being pro-black and know they not no fucking pro-black.
Destructive. Premeditated act of revenge. Minneapolis police officers beat man to a pulp, allegedly planted drugs near his house after he complained. So this dude was almost beat to death, knocked unconscious, and then they planted drugs on him. And it happened in Minneapolis. Look, man, what's going on in Minneapolis, bro?
What's going on in Minneapolis? What's going on in Wisconsin? Florida's, we know what's going on there.
Hey, Negroes.
New York.
Get the hell out of Minneapolis, because they beating the hell, like.
They after y'all, like.
It's like a case coming out every other week.
Yeah.
I ain't going to read the story, but that's pretty much happened. He got beat. They go into detail. They actually went into detail. They got a video of how he was beaten. And it's like, I don't need all that detail. He was beaten, all right. But you know how they go. Anyway. This right here, the Charlotte Observer. White students stage slave auction, harass black child in Tennessee school, lawsuit says.
Well, how white students stage a slave auction at a school?
Like, how long did that take? Teachers just says, like, what happened?
And how would the little boy be even involved? I mean, he walking by him and they said, we having a slave auction? I'm trying to figure out.
A mother is suing a Tennessee education board after she said school officials allowed a racially hostile environment to continue at her son's middle school. Erica Quayle's son, who was in 8th grade in the Churchill Middle School in Churchill, Tennessee, was repeatedly called racial slurs by white students, subjected to a barrage of other racial epithets like monkey, showing images of the Ku Klux Klan members holding torches and nooses, taunted in a slave auction staged by the students, chased and insulted with a stuffed monkey, and shown images of African-American caricatures being stabbed and shot. Quayle's lawsuit alleges that despite repeated attempts to bring concerns about her son's treatment to administrators, they consistently dismissed her and tried to shift blame onto her son. About 6% of the student body at Churchill Middle School is made up of minority students, about 1.3% of whom are black. According to the U.S. News and World Report, Churchill is about 85 miles northeast of Knoxville. So you got your black son in a majority white school.
Mm-hmm.
That's you asking for mental abuse.
Well, we have to say, does she live in a predominantly white area? Is she choosing to have her son go to the school because of better education, like as they like to put it, for better opportunities? What's the scenario?
The kids were very racist to him. They didn't say whether or not she lived in it. She clearly lived in the neighborhood.
The article was vague.
Yeah, it's very vague. All they pretty much say is the little boy was dealt with a lot of racial stuff.
Then get your son out of the school. It's simple.
The school said we investigated this. This is not quite how it went, and we're making sure everything is okay and up and up. They didn't really deny it or agree with it. They pretty much gave up.
Sometimes as black people, you like to say we don't run. We like to stay and fight. Sometimes
you run to your people.
You just say, I don't want to deal with it.
No,
I don't want to be around. They don't want to be around me. I damn sure don't want to be around them. So I'm gonna remove my son from this situation and put him in a majority black school. That's
still gonna sue.
I'm still gonna sue for the trauma and the suffering, but I'm not gonna keep him here.
We just don't understand. Crestview community reacts to police officers' indictment. The Crestview community is reacting Wednesday to 3 police officers being indicted on a manslaughter charge of the death of Calvin Wilkes Jr. Wilkes Jr. died in October, a day after being tased by officers who were trying to detain him. According to police, he allegedly became combative and resisted before officers tased him. The death has been ruled a homicide. While several community members declined to speak on camera about the developments, we spoke to a woman who says she is Wilkes Jr.'s aunt. Juanita Mims says that in a case with further divide already in the city, yes, we're divided, and yeah, this has probably made it worse. He said, we need the police, but we need everyone on the same accord. If you can't trust the people we're paying taxes to, then who can you trust?
Nobody. Sometimes you can't even trust your own mama.
Damn, Trevor. But you know what you need to do?
Not my mama, but I'm just saying. Some people.
You know what you need to do? You need to police yourself. I've talked about this ad nauseum. Police yourself.
You gonna fund this?
Look, man, don't put me on. Don't look.
You put ideas out there. Are you gonna fund it?
Do as I say. Not as I. No, there is a dude who started a security.
One.
It happened.
So is he gonna set the blueprint for how to do it?
One is a start, ain't it?
Yes, one is a start, but he gonna set up the blueprint for how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he did it. Just follow what he did.
Okay.
Justice Department opens probe into Louisiana State Police. The U.S. Department is opening a sweeping civil rights investigation to Louisiana State Police amid mounting evidence that the agency has a pattern of looking the other way in the face of beatings of mostly black men, including the deadly 2019 arrest of Ronald Green. We talked about that before. He was literally beaten on camera. He was beaten so bad, and then they try to hold him up. You know how you sit on somebody's leg while you sit down and you hold him up with your leg? They beat him, on camera. The federal pattern or practice probe announced Thursday followed an Associated Press investigation that found Green's arrest was among at least a dozen cases over the past decade in which state police troopers or other bosses ignored or concealed evidence of beatings, deflected blame, and impeded efforts to root out misconduct. Dozens of current and former troopers said the beatings were nuanced by the culture of impunity, nepotism, and in some cases, outright racism. You know, back in the 90s, when the 80s, they told black people that there's no such thing as cops beating you up. You had dudes that told stories in the 70s and 80s and the 60s how cops would just pick them up, beat their ass, and drop them off in the alley. Or they would pick up a gang member and drop them off in a rival gang's territory.
Like on Snowfall.
Yeah. So that stuff was happening. They told black people that's not happening. And then they saw that infamous beating on tape. Rodney King. Well, they beat this man on camera.
But some of us think that was...
A man just so happened to be in the bushes. Oh, I understand. He just happened to be in the bushes recording it. Yeah, I know. Then this man went to court and said, "Can we all just get along?" And the whole city went up in flames. When he was found not guilty on camera. And then niggas thought in 2016 when they said they're going to make sure people wear cameras, make cops wear cameras, they're going to do something new. Motherfucker, they caught Rodney King beating on camera, and they still didn't find him guilty.
And they wearing cameras and still killing you.
So they
didn't do nothing.
But they said they're doing an investigation, as they always do. They always doing an investigation or a study. Investigation or a study. Then you got to study every damn thing with Negroes. All right. Oh, hold on. What the? All right. Gas prices hit $5 national average after rapid rise. I'm only talking about this for one reason. As I said earlier, when they talked about black men and black people in general voting and how they have lost interest or apathy towards politics. Is this, as I've shown before, I showed all those police beatings and all this other stuff. All this stuff is happening underneath every type of government you could think of. Republican, Democrat, progressive, as they call it. It's happening underneath all of them. So what's the point of voting? People voted for this. People voted for this right here, this $5 gas prices, average at least, because over here it's $6. I saw somewhere in California it was at $7. And you go, how are these Negroes still driving around?
Oh, they doing what you suggested. Steal gas out of somebody's car.
Hold on, that was like, how the hell you remember that from like 2 months ago?
That's a mess.
But it's definitely happening. People were definitely sucking gas out of people's car.
And that's terrible.
And you know, shit got to get done. People got to move.
So you prepared with somebody else from moving.
You pay them back.
Shit.
You pay them back when you get your money up. You pay them back.
Niggas don't get their money up.
When you get on your feet, you pay them back.
They don't get on their feet.
Let me show what they had to say about the economy. That is the press secretary.
What we're trying to say, what I'm trying to say to you is that the economy is in a better place than it has been historically. And so we feel here at this administration and other experts as well, is that we feel that we are in a good position to take on inflation. We are in a good position to really start really.
Is she living in the same America we living in?
This is why this saying is so good. You gonna piss on my back and tell me it's rain. You gonna tell me this is a good economy. You gonna say, forget what your wallet is dealing with, your bank account is dealing with. It's actually a good economy, and the inflation isn't that bad. We can handle it.
You know what? Has she seen a picture of people in grocery stores with grocery carts and none of them are full? I did a grocery shop yesterday, and I'm probably one of the people that had the most groceries in their cart, and it was a black dude behind me. It was okay. It was
look like rich, ain't you?
Hold on, wait a minute.
He got some bread on.
It's a black dude. It was a white woman behind me, but it was a black dude behind the white woman. And you know how somebody trying to see, and then he's looking behind the other person because I had all that shit. And he was like,
"Damn!" He must
have
some
had
bread.
like 6 items.
Like, boy, let me hold a couple.
And my job owed me some money. They had to reimburse me some stuff I paid for. So of course, I don't like having cash on me. I used that. And I used my debit card. I said, this nigga just know I'm gonna pull out a food stamp card. He just know I'm gonna pull out a food stamp card.
Like the food stamp's coming. Food stamp's coming.
It's food stamp time. You go, did I pull out that card? Damn.
Yeah, I gotta get my weight up.
I gotta give it up.
You gotta get my weight up out here. But yeah, that was
what
funny.
America is she living in that she think the economy is
I guess
better?
you mean we printed 80% of the money in circulation in the last 4 years, so we got enough to deal with the inflation. We don't print all this money. The economy is quote unquote better than ever, you know? Let me show you what this is now. We talked about when they brought the K-pop people up to the White House, how for the first time they're starting to use celebrities on other demographics other than black Americans. Now they're starting to get Asian celebrities for Asians. And now the white, have you noticed that since Trump got in office, that white people, their celebrities are talking way more about politics. They're starting to become at the forefront of political movement. That's why you have white people that say, fuck Hollywood. Hollywood is a bunch of liberal, how they call them, liberal retards, as they call them. But you got some right wingers there too. The dude who used to do that Tough Jobs show, Dirty Jobs. Remember that show? He's a conservative. So he came out and they was happy. It's like, all right,
they got somebody.
All right, a couple of them came out supportive conservatives. Let me show you what De Niro had to say about.
Wait a minute.
So
we're in calm waters. Russia is threatening to nuke our asses.
Pause right there. The man said it's calm waters and you have a country threatening to nuke you.
Trump had a great relationship with Russia. He was even going over there to Korea.
Telling him to stop what he's doing. Stop being an idiot. He literally said that. Stop being an idiot.
But when it comes to Joe Biden, he's just doing the best he can do. You know, he has a lot to deal with. He has a lot on his shoulders.
Look, Joe Biden, we know he's not the president.
The big guy is.
The big guy is the president. Or should I say he's not the acting. He's the president voted in, but he's not the shadow. The shadow guy is back there. The shadow is back there. Everything that Biden is doing is a part 2 of the 2012 administration. The people he put in office, the people he put in his administration are literally Obama people. Then it's right there. Him calling it calm in the midst of a Cold War. Not even a Cold War. It's pretty much, it's World War III already started. They just haven't fired the shots directly at each other
And he
yet.
knew what he was doing when he used the saying, talking about a calm waters. You know this ain't no calm waters. This shit is rocky.
But they're not talking about it. People don't think nuclear war is a threat. They just think there's no way.
There's no way that America could get hit with a bomb. That only happens in the Middle East.
Yeah, that only happens. America's the only one that can nuke somebody.
No, America ass gonna get nuked too.
Now I want to show this. I ain't show you this one. Now this woman name is Sav Says. She's I don't know, she Asian or something.
She's Asian.
But she went to an area and talked about how they told us that the economy is good and that things are stable.
They always want to get feedback from Negro.
No. There was a poll done, and the poll said that the people believe this. Like, it's pretty good. So they were like, this poll seemed like bullshit. So she went and interviewed some people. Now, in this clip I found, I don't know if it's edited to cut out other people, but in this clip, she only interviewed a black man. So I would assume some people will edit it out, or whoever made this wanted to make a point. So listen to what these black dudes had to say about Biden's economy.
All right, guys, the Biden administration has been telling us that America is in one of the best spots that it's been financially and economically.
Since I took office, families are carrying less debt. A recent survey from the Federal Reserve found that more Americans feel financially comfortable than any time since the survey began in 2013.
Comfortable. I had to pause it. The fact that this man he get on television and tell you that a poll said that most American feels financially comfortable. In the midst of these gas prices, this inflation, these shortages, it's like you're spitting at people, and people believe it. People are literally struggling, watch that and say, well, other people must not be going through what I'm going through.
No, they going through what you're going through.
And it's just crazy.
Comfortable than any time since the survey began in 2013.
Comfortable? Look at them gas prices. They ain't comfortable to me. Hell no.
Joe Biden says that we're in a strong economy, that we're doing great. Do you believe that?
No, we're not financially stable, comfortable, or nothing like that. But when Trump was in office, I was feeling really good.
Really?
Yes, Trump.
So Joe Biden too much? You'd rather have Trump back?
I want Trump back. I'm not for Biden. I'm not for him.
Ain't no comfortability around nowhere. It really hurts America with the gas prices because we have to get to work. And if we can't get to work and we got to spend all our money on gas that we going to work on, that means you can't pay your bills. So it's an endless circle of endless debt.
Everybody gonna go in debt, sooner or later, because what's happening now is everybody is feeling the heat from, every angle of the society. So yeah, I feel like, no, it's not true.
It's bullshit. Completely, because rent prices is crazy. We paying, I don't know how much percent more, but I would say at least three or 400 more than we was paying 2 years ago. That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Salaries aren't going up, so how are we supposed to make the difference in income and rent? It doesn't make sense.
So when the Biden administration comes forward and says that economically and financially our country's doing really well, do you think that's a lie?
Yep, I think they're blowing smoke up our behinds. I think it's Biden's fault. Trump said it would happen. We would deal with a lot of the stuff that we dealing with back when we had the Great Depression. I miss Daddy T, Trump. I miss Daddy T, for real. I mean, like, I respected him because he was real about his opinion, even though I didn't always agree with him, but he kept it real with us. We know what was going to happen. Like, things was better. Like, the economy was better.
Now, hold on. I ain't like that Daddy T bullshit. Like, come on, bro.
Daddy T?
He called him Daddy T.
Oh.
He said
I ain't with that shit either, but listen, niggas fucked with Donald Trump because he said stuff that you was saying in your households. Who did he call a hoe?
He called a couple of them a hoe. Listen, the man came out and said, I can't remember, I want to know who that woman is. I forgot who it was. He said she got her job hoeing around. And I was like, we just had a president of the United States call a woman
a hoe
in Congress a hoe. But I don't know if this was select. I'm pretty sure it seemed like these dudes she interviewed were selected.
But not all of them were Trumpers. Some of them were just reflecting off of what they're dealing with day to day. Like the guy said, I'm spending this money to get to work, and then the same money that I'm making to work, I have to replenish my gas tank, so then I'm not able to pay my bills. But I don't know. Did they think because they raised the minimum wage that people were going to be able to afford
if the inflation is higher, the wages don't mean shit.
So they literally, after they gave y'all a
$15 increase, well, not $15.
Everything went up in inflation.
Yeah. So you
right back
where you started. The inflation is up. So right now, the average American is gonna sound crazy. The minimum wage probably should be about $24, $23 for to compete with the inflation and all that other stuff, price of living, cost of living. So that the people that's making 30 should probably be making like 50.
And when they be talking about it, this is on sale. No, that's the actual price of what it should be. They ain't on their own sale.
All right, let me show this. This is this dude commenting on the gas prices. This is funny. Hold on. Hold on.
President Biden continues to campaign for more economic chaos. Meanwhile, I don't know about where you live, Jesse, but in my state, the price of gas is so high that it would be cheaper to buy cocaine and just run everywhere. President Biden.
First off, that joke was set up. You can see by that dude right his face. He knew what he was about to say. Look, he knew he was about to say the joke too. He said the price of gas, you might well buy cocaine and run around. Which is funny because where he at is Louisiana, so I don't know if it's crack or meth that's bigger there. Louisiana?
Crack.
Because niggas.
Yep. Crack.
And this is what Biden had to say about this is the man who's quote unquote running the country. We do this every week. Him saying something completely, him or Kamala saying something crazy. Listen to it.
Oh, I'm serious. You turn on the TV, look at the ads. When's the last time you saw biracial couples on TV? When's the last time you saw the way, people are selling products. They do ads to sell products, and they sell products when they appeal to people. This generation is going to change everything. We just got to make sure we don't give up.
Wait a minute.
What the fuck is he talking about?
You think people give a damn about seeing biracial couples on TV? People worry about getting to work with their gas. People worry about their rent increasing. People worry about what they're going to eat day to day. And you talking about fucking biracial people on commercials and selling merchandise on commercials? What the fuck I need to see it for if I can't buy it? And that's why we left regular TV so we would be seeing commercials. But y'all done got them all on the other damn platforms.
They got ads on every social media platform.
How you gonna have a
World Star has ads now?
How you gonna have a whole episode of something as a commercial?
As an ad. I've seen preachers' whole sermon 2 hours as a commercial. Now that's
music videos.
That's when people pay. They make their
trying to promote their shit.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's why we left regular TV so we wouldn't have to be dealing with no commercials.
Hey, money move.
That's why people got the DVD. You remember the DVR?
Oh yeah,
so
fast forward.
You can pause, record it and fast forward through it.
Deputies won't go to non-emergency calls because of gas prices, Michigan sheriff says.
So If it's a little petty crime,
it ain't coming.
They said the gas too high. They ain't coming out.
A Michigan sheriff is ordering his deputies to stop responding in person to non-emergency calls due to pain at the pump. Isabella County Sheriff Michael Maine announced the measure in a June 7 Facebook post that has since been deleted, apparently along with all previous posts on the department's page. We have exhausted what funds were budgeted for fuel with several months to go before the budget reset, Maine's post said, according to TV station WDIV. I have instructed the deputies to attempt to manage whatever calls are acceptable over the phone, including non-life-threatening calls, non-in-progress calls, and calls that don't require evidence collection or documentation. The move comes amid soaring gas prices. Many Americans are feeling the pinch, and Maine say the department is not immune. It's that, weird society when the cops like, look, man, we ain't gonna be able to make it out there.
Well, hell, they said that they were saying that we're here. They were understaffed and they weren't able to come out. Or, if somebody stole something, then just let them walk out the store.
Oh, yeah, it was 800. There's 1,000
You
or
could
800.
spend up to 800. You could steal up to $899. No, $999. Just can't steal 1,000.
So people just walking in stores taking laundry
Yeah,
detergent.
somebody got on the bus the other morning with some damn laundry detergent and it was Tide and Gain. He had one of those thing like you can pull it around. He had at least 12 bottles of laundry detergent. They were the big ones.
Yeah. He's selling them, ain't he?
He was Asian, by the way.
He's selling them probably. They know.
Well, he got on the bus. And I was sitting at the front, and it was a white couple got on. They were sitting across from me. It's in the front of the bus where the wheelchair people get on.
Yeah.
Or people who have walkers or stuff. And he gonna turn to me and say, "Can you do you?" I said, "Why you didn't ask them? I'm not getting up for you stealing. You stole that. I'm not getting up. I don't feel bad for you. Stand up with your merchandise and wait till these white people get off the bus. You can sit your ass down." I guess that was an anti-Asian thing I did, but I won't get up. And then the Negro beside me gonna say, "Man, I give you a couple of cigarettes for." You think he gonna that's a trade? Cigarettes for a big ass bottle of laundry detergent? That's not a good trade.
We're about to go into an area where we might have to start bartering with people.
5 cigarettes. Those are loosies.
Cigarettes are going to be considered a luxury.
A delicacy.
Yeah, alcohol, cigarettes,
dude. He was not about to give up that size a bottle of laundry detergent for 4 cigarettes. It's not a good trade.
Washing clothes ain't gonna be as important to watch. Mexican president calls for American superstate. This is one article we were talking about earlier. Open borders. Mexico's president is reviving calls for continental superstate that would combine North American employers and South American employees. They're saying it right there. They sideline tens of millions of middle-class Americans. I will go into July to visit President Biden in the White House, and I want to discuss with him the issue of the integration of all America. President Andres Manuel Lopez said at a press conference in Mexico's presidential palace. He continued, "My position is that just as how the European community was created, we have to do that in America." He wanted European Union. They want to bring back the Amero. That was the financial, that was the currency that was going to use back in the early 2000s with George W. Bush. However, any unification could only come after the United States and southern countries resolve the disagreements. He said there has been a change in the policy. There has to be a change in the policy, an end to the confrontation, an end to the hate, an end to the threats and the blockades, the foreigners, the foreign interferences, and choose brotherhood, good neighbor policies. Sound like talking about America right there. The same continent-wide superstate was pushed in 2001 by President George W. Bush and Mexico's then President Vicente Fox. Their unpopular Any-Willing Worker plan would have allowed U.S. employers to easily import low-wage employees from the Central and South America. It was derailed following the 9/11 attack. The policy would spike Wall Street and Fortune 500 profits by giving them floods of cheap foreign workers plus many new foreign consumers. So we know who's pushing for this. The corporations, the tech companies.
This is the same thing that they were talking about on that episode. Having these immigrants come over here working for cheap labor.
Pretty much. That's the whole purpose of being. America needs workers.
So if America needs workers, does that mean that the country is underpopulated? Or nobody's working?
No, they need cheap workers.
Because the workers they have here are
the workers they got here
much.
want $15 an hour, and they actually complaining about that now. They want $20.
Well, they're gonna ask for more because of inflation and stuff has gone up.
Y'all asking for more? Okay, let's get these Mexicans, these Guatemalans, these Venezuelans, these.
Well, that's not gonna do no good if the people in your country can't even buy the supply that you have.
Ain't that the replacement theory?
What?
Bringing you in, or you don't want to buy nothing? We're gonna bring them in. They're buying.
How they gonna buy it when they getting paid $7 to $8 an hour? How can they afford it?
They're not paying taxes. We've seen it with our own two eyes. What happened in 3 years when a person immigrate here?
Well, yeah, we've seen it on the inflation though.
They work at the same place, but 3 years they're in a totally different place.
We haven't seen it on inflation.
All right. And people said they make moves, man.
No, they be having 10 damn 20, 30 people living in the damn household, and they paying $5 each on everything.
All right. Wisconsin gas station reportedly facing $160,000 in lawsuits for selling gas too cheap.
Somebody always in somebody's business.
Filling up cars at a gas station is increasingly expensive, leading many drivers to complain about high costs. But some business owners are concerned not about gas prices that are too high, but about competitors selling gas for too cheap. In fact, a couple of gas station owners in Wisconsin filed lawsuits alleging that one gas station in their vicinity has been selling gas for cheaper than the law allows.
Jealousy.
I want to show y'all this too. Now, this right here is what I think a lot of the gas inflation, the gas prices is going to be about. Because a lot of the stuff they're doing is leading to the gas prices going up. America can literally supply their own. Biden has shut down a lot of that stuff on purpose. Now listen to what this woman had to say about electric vehicles.
Extremely grateful to be here today, and in fact, this is a chance for me to say thank you more formally. The Chevy Volt is upstairs. We'll be able to take a look at it. We've got about 1,000 photos.
Yeah. Is it plug? It's as simple as that.
The batteries are in the trunk?
No, the battery in this particular design is a T-shape right down the center and across the back seat area. Because everybody thought we killed the electric vehicle. No, we didn't. It's alive and well.
So what's charging the batteries right now? What's the source of
Well,
electricity?
here, it's coming from the building.
I mean, is it what's our mix of power?
Oh, actually, Lansing feeds the building.
What's that?
Lansing feeds power to the building. So I don't know.
They're
I bet you they're a bit of coal. Well, they're heavy on natural gas, aren't they?
right now the car's charging off of your grid.
Right. It would be charging off our grid, which is about 95% coal.
Extremely great.
So wait, the electric vehicles, what's charging the charger to charge the batteries is coal. So what's the point of the electric vehicle?
So that you won't be driving, that you'll be
public transportation.
Exactly.
Or an electric vehicle.
Which is they doing right now with the inflation. Making people get on public transportation. Slick asses. She ain't that slick.
Slick
we done
as,
caught on to you.
Slick as hand piss. All right. Mortgage demands fall to the lowest level in 22 years amid rising rates and slower home sales. We told you what BlackRock and all those companies were doing, man. They're buying up all the houses, raising the rent. So you can't. They don't want you renting houses. They want you in apartments. They don't want you buying houses. They want you in apartments.
You know, up the street they got a tiny house community,
and that's what you about to have to do. You're not gonna be able to get houses. How did they said you're not gonna own anything and you're gonna be happy. Target slashing prices, shares plummet. Target has a boatload of merchandise it can't sell, the company said on Tuesday. Just 3 weeks after the reported disappointing first quarter earnings, the big box realtor warned investors that the profits would drop for the rest of the year as the slashed prices on the variety of items that consumers are not scooping up amid a record high inflation of 8.3%.
I'm going to go to Target.
Yeah. Since we reported our first quarter results, we have continued to monitor external conditions and have determined the necessary actions to remain nimble in the current environment. Shares for the Minneapolis-based retailer were down 9% in pre-market trading in the news. The stock closed at $155, down 2.3%. Its shares taking 25% in May 18. Cornell said the company is canceling orders for its vendors in what he described as a rapidly changing environment. So basically, people are buying food. They're not buying couches and microwaves and refrigerators and...
What you say? Buying what?
Food.
Couches and what?
Refrigerators.
What was the other word you said?
Microwaves.
Oh, you got it right today.
What, microwaves?
It's microwave. So no microwave.
So people ain't spending their money on stuff like that. They spending money on food and
which they should be. That's the priority, is to buy food and load up on stuff that you're gonna need just in case, something happens this year. You have emergency supply on hand.
Just in case something happened, it already happened.
No, I mean like something worse.
FDA advisors vote to recommend Novavax COVID-19 vaccine. So another one. Advisors signaled interest in making available a vaccine made with a technology different.
Johnson gone away.
Yeah, they remember. FDA came out and said they do not recommend Johnson & Johnson. So they replaced
Johnson & Johnson ain't giving up that money like they want to.
Technology different from the messenger RNA shots that have dominated the U.S. immunization arsenal against the disease. So they're giving you another one. Then we got to see this right here. What's this? Healthy young people are dying suddenly and unexpectedly from a mysterious syndrome as doctors seek answers through a new national registry.
And guess what the name of it is? Sudden adult syndrome. That's just some random shit.
Sudden adult death syndrome. Nigga just died.
He died of
He died suddenly. That's a disease. Suddenly. Sudden death is a disease now.
I died.
People aged under 40 are being urged to have their hearts checked. I wonder why. We can't say. Heart problems. All we can say is heart problems.
Heart problems, blood clots.
All I'm saying, because they may potentially be at risk for sudden adult death syndrome. Okay.
What are they taking lately?
Something. So people, it said people under age 40 are being urged to have their hearts checked because they may potentially be at risk of sudden adult death syndrome. The syndrome known as SADS. They created shit.
Sudden death syndrome.
They just created some shit and get a name on it. Has been fatal for all kinds of people, regardless of whether they maintain fit or healthy lifestyle.
I don't want no tea. I don't want no tea. Baby, something in here is messing with my heart. And it stinks.
And it stink too. SADS is an umbrella term to describe unexpected. Damn, I add this. All right. Unexpected deaths of young people, said the Royal Australian College of General Practitioners, most commonly occurring in people under 40 years of age. Somebody.
That have been said a couple times. Something or somebody stink. What's that smell?
Your ass. Are this gonna load or not? Damn.
With the slow as hell the internet is nowadays, let's hope so.
Yeah. We talked about this already. Is the internet, boy.
Internet is terrible. I feel like I'm back in the damn early 2000s where you have to load.
You gotta call. You can't use the phone while you're on the internet.
I feel like you gotta wait till load. It's browsing. You remember to get the thing browsing. That's how it be a couple times out the week.
I'll try to get this to load. Hold on. Come on, thing down. Okay, it's coming. Please.
Yeah, can't sing.
No, throw this dry.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yo, you said you didn't want no tea. I guess you do need tea.
I'm drinking water. All right.
The things people say to make people feel good about themselves.
Man, look, leave my granny alone.
I'm the one that can sing. Duke, you can't sing.
One of these days, we're going to show everybody.
Sure we are.
I'm going to sing a beautiful song.
It's like a damn cat choking on an air ball.
Shit.
That's what it sound like.
It sound like Luther.
Big Luther or Little Luther? That's a debate.
All right. Speaking of heart problems, you see this? Have you noticed? Listen, I did not think this would happen this soon. I thought we would be at least 3-4 years from this coming out.
Oh, the commercials of if you're
James
suffering,
Scott Farron.
If you're getting breast on your chest.
If you have a lump, have you noticed your health declining since receiving a COVID-19 injection? If you weren't made fully aware of the health risks from the COVID-19 vaccines, you are entitled to compensation of 120,000 pounds.
What did Negroes say that they're gonna be taking? Oh, they was gonna be getting niggas gonna be on birth control, walking around here with big asses.
Yeah,
because they bloated.
And then it's gonna be a couple years later. Are you walking around with a big booty? Please call.
Are you entitled to? Are you a male experiencing double D's? Need a breast reduction?
Are you carrying a wagon?
A Chevy.
Hell yeah. All right. Listen to this right here.
When do you get boosted again? I mean, now that you've had it, you know, I've had it around the same time. I've only gotten 3 shots total, only been boosted once. I guess we have immunity for a little while, but when do you decide to get boosted again?
So an infection where you get a high viral load would be like vaccination. But, you know, to be safe, every 6 months, you're probably going to be vaccinated. As we get more data, they might even make that shorter for people who are, you know, say 60 or over 70, where the duration seems to be a bit lower. So we're in for ongoing vaccination to stay absolutely safe.
Wait a minute, a flu shot is once a year, and you talking about taking this every 6 months? That's twice a year. You talking about for the elderly, you take it quarterly? That's ridiculous.
That's the plan, and they still pushing it. it's insane. But speaking of the new one, the one that got Travis shaking in his boots. I was scared.
It ain't got me scared. I just have already stated. I'm just gonna, seclude myself from being around people until it die down.
All right.
So see you in 5 years.
CDC advises travelers to wear a mask to protect against monkeypox as it raises alert level and confirms 31 cases in the U.S., including 7 in New York and 6 in California. They told us this was not airborne. Now, we showed y'all.
There's 2 cases here, too, in Washington State.
We showed you. You can go to our last episode when we talked about monkeypox. We told you they did find a way to make monkeypox airborne and spray it, and how it lasts 78 to 90 hours in a room or in the air. So I'm saying they know how to make it airborne. But CDC jumped the gun and told people to wear masks after telling them that it's only transmitted through contact.
Yep.
Like sexual contact.
Bodily fluids.
So it sounds like it's comparable to another. Don't do it. Don't do it. It sounds like it's connected to another transmitted disease. All right?
Where they didn't used to want to eat behind them?
You know, as I die slow.
As I die slow. That's fucked up.
That's the truth. U.S. to get 36,000 more monkeypox vaccine doses this week. They're preparing, y'all. And then this one right here. CDC sparked backlash after ditching the monkeypox mask advice.
They ditched it, so they told them they don't need it.
So now they're saying you don't need it now. So that's why I said they jumped the gun. They came out and said you need to wear a mask because they want those masks on planes. They want those masks and I don't know why they want the mask mandate so bad. And they're really mad because they're trying to get the Supreme Court to allow them to have rule over that type of stuff, to extend their reach, to allow them to create mandates for masks and health stuff. Because the lower courts got them out of here. The lower courts got them out of here.
They finally gonna give it to them.
think they're just holding it off until after the summer of hell part 2.
Yeah.
You gonna have Summer of Hell Part 2, and then they'll bring it back.
Last summer wasn't. When was
2020.
Yes, 2020 was the summer of hell.
Yeah.
2021, they gave you a break.
A little bit of break. You were partying a little bit.
Or was it 2021? This is 2020. Yeah.
2021. Yeah. 2020 is the war. That
2022.
Was the war. It's gonna be 2020 Part 2. The Center of Disease Control and Prevention has sparked a backlash for scrapping advice for travelers to wear masks to prevent the spread of monkeypox. Last week, the CDC updated his monkeypox travel guidance to read, wear a mask. Wearing a mask can help protect you from many diseases, including monkeypox. It also raised the monkeypox alert level to level 2, indicating that people should practice enhanced precaution. On the evening of June 6th, however, the mask recommendation was deleted from the monkeypox travel notice on the CDC website. In a statement issued on June 7th, the agency said, CDC removed the mask recommendation for the monkeypox travel health notice because it caused confusion. Yeah, because you told people it wasn't, you couldn't give it through air. It wasn't airborne. It was only through physical contact. Physical contact. So, yeah. I don't even know if I should read this one. Australia to forcibly vaccinate citizens via chemtrails. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it in the description. I'll leave that one in the description. That isn't a column written. Hopefully you get to see this. We just got back. I ain't trying to leave again for a little while at least.
Oh, you're not trying to get us kicked off again?
I didn't get us kicked off, Negro.
I done told you I'm not your Negro.
All right, man. That's all we got on that. You got anything else you want to say?
No, thanks for viewing the channel. We appreciate the comments.
Yeah, leave a comment if you can. If they ain't block you and got your shadow ban, we found out that they do shadow ban people. Travis shadow ban from YouTube. If you leave a comment, y'all will not see it unless we put him as a moderator or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you for the support.
All right. So, I'm not even going to read it.
Why not read it?
Nah, but anyway, man, thanks for viewing the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. We really appreciate the support. I'm going to read it. Fuck it. They got you worried about January 6th in Ukraine, food shortages from burning flames. They scared you with COVID and now monkeypox, mass shootings, and killer cops. Never thinking of what they're doing at the top. But anyway, man.
Doing a lot of things at the top.
Exactly. All praise to the Most High. And peace, man.